Hey everybody! Welcome back to the Fruits of the Literature Club. We are continuing the Yuri route, and we are also leaving exactly where we left off, where my stream broke last stream. So, yeah, I have no idea how that happened, but hey, we're here now. Yep, we're gonna continue right where we left off, which was right here. Yeah, the internet cut out, but now that I'm no longer now that I'm no longer using my laptop, I don't have to rely on the crappy internet here. I'm using Ethernet now, since I'm on my since I'm actually on my brand new PC right now. I'm using Ethernet. I'm running on a much powerful machine, so we're not gonna expect any more lags here and there. I'm so happy. Things are gonna be much better now. Alright. So, without further ado, let's go. Hey. Hello, Doki Raid. And hello, Jameer Jonsei. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. So yeah, we are gonna continue where we left off right here. Slinging my bag over my shoulder, Yuri glances at me from her desk. Diverse. Sorry I didn't mean to stare. It's fine. Your guys acted hesitant and apprehensive around me ever since she confessed her feelings. Can't say I blame her, though. I feel a slight twinge of sympathy for her, but I dismiss it. I'm gonna head out now. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'd prefer if you didn't lie straight to my face. Yuri lets out a cute little giggle. It's about time you showed me some lively signs. Are you doing anything later? Well, I have to drop off a few things downtown. After that, nothing. Do you think it would be okay if I came over and read with you again? I think that last night wasn't very proper. I agree. How about this? Later tonight, just head over to my house. I reach into my pocket and pull out a silver key. A key? It's my house key. I won't be home for a while, so head over, and if I'm not home, feel free to let yourself in. Are you sure that's okay? I wouldn't be holding out my key to you if it wasn't. Consider yourself extremely lucky. Yuri reluctantly accepts the key into her hands. Okay. I'll head over around 7. Is that okay? That's fine. I should be home around 30 after. I can't wait for... Excuse me. I can wait for a short time. Alright. I'll see you when I get home. It's a street. Oh, I can't click and it doesn't skip. I happily hum to myself as I travel to Diverse's house. I feel much better today. Diverse's idea to draw on my arm instead of cutting really helps. It makes me feel good. I haven't had anyone really care so much about me before. He really is a spectacular guy. I wish I didn't confess my feelings to him so bluntly. But at least he didn't reject me. I sure hope that he becomes my boyfriend. Oh, I'm here already. The walk didn't seem that far. Guess I was too absorbed in thought. I'm a little apprehensive about going into Diverse's house alone, but he trusts me, so I guess that's okay. I just hope he doesn't mind if I sit down on his couch and wait for him. Humming happily, I unlock the door and enter. Oh, this house is really dark. Would it be okay if I turned on the lights so I could see? I'm sure he'd be okay with that. As I reach my hands around the walls for a light switch, I hear something behind me. Well, I was waiting for Diverse, but I guess you can do. Huh? As I make my way home, I notice that none of my lights inside are on. That's odd. I'm sure Yuri would be here by now. Curious, I get to my door and test the knob. It's unlocked. When I enter, I immediately sense that something is off. Reaching for my light switch, I step into something slick. I look down and see a puddle of red liquid. Hesitantly and cautiously, I reach down and press my index and middle finger against the puddle. I raise them to my face and examine it. It's blood. Shit! Yuri?! Millions of scenarios race through my head as I stare into the puddle of blood on the floor, each one more nebulous and violent than the last. What the hell happened here? Did she do this to herself? No, that's not possible for this amount of blood. It wouldn't make sense anyway. Someone must have harmed her, and by the amount of blood in this room, it happened right here. Who would break into my house? Why would they attack Yuri instead of me? Did they know something she was gonna be here, or was it just a coincidence? Damn it, I don't have time to ask these questions. Another thought pops into my head. It's entirely possible the person who did this is still here. And Yuri, too. I need to quickly search this house just to be sure. I walk into the living room, which is faintly illuminated through the windows facing the street. There are no apparent signs of a struggle. After a brief walk through the room, I return to the entryway and head toward the kitchen. I slow my breathing to reduce noise levels as I stride over to my kitchen. My eyes dart around the room as I enter, searching for anyone crouched among my cabinets or any knives missing from my knife block. There are no apparent signs of foul play. Ascending the stairs slowly and quietly, I keep my guard up for any shadows or movements at the top. After reaching the top and quickly glancing around, I approach my bedroom door. Leaning in, I press my ear against the door to listen for any movements. The only thing I can hear is the constant throbbing of my own heart. Slowly, I turn the doorknob. I'm entirely prepared to fight for my life, and Yuri's. The door softly creaks as I press on it, swinging it open, and... nothing. Nothing seems out of place in my bedroom. No signs of struggle, no ransacked areas. Turning on the flashlight of my GP phone, I creep over to the doorway of my bathroom, making sure to remain as silent as possible. I press myself into the wall just outside of the door. I just need to be sure. Quickly, I lean out into the open doorway, shining my light in all the key areas of the room where someone could possibly be hidden. No blood, no signs of life. My shower curtain is closed. What if the bastard is behind it? I slowly move up my shower and prepare to pull the curtain away. Gah! I feel something slam against my head and right shoulder immediately after I swipe the curtain away from the wall. My left hand clenches the curtain and completely rips it from the curtain rod, flinging it across the bathroom. I lash out with my right hand in a fist, which strikes the shower wall and produces a loud, hollow thud. I can't see what hit me, but I'll be damned before I allow them to hit me again. I step back to create distance from my attacker and analyze the situation. That's when I realized that my attacker was a shampoo bottle. I must have knocked it from the hanging rack beneath the shower head as I ripped the curtain away. God damn it. There's no one here. Feeling frustration well up inside me like a boiled over pot, I return downstairs to my living room. Shampoo bottles are evil! Where's Yuri? The blood on the floor is dark. That means it's been there for a little bit. It'd be a brighter shade of red if it was fresh. It lost all of its warmth, too. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a slip of paper lying neatly on top of my sofa. Immediately as I approach it, I notice a few drops of blood and sweat covering it. My heart sinks as I pick up and read the paper. Dear Diverse, well, by now you've probably already noticed that your precious Yuri has gone missing. You've been a pain in the ass to me for a very long time. Now I'm gonna be a pain in your ass. Why don't we play a little game? I want to have something fun with you and Yuri. I want you to follow my movements. You will do everything as I ask of you, and you will do it right if you value Yuri's safety. Go to your friend Sayori's house and check her mailbox. I will have something for you. My theories and assumptions are now debunked. The vision of Yuri's body, slumped over bloody and lifeless, leaves my mind. But a new one takes hold and overcomes me. I study the handwriting very carefully in a desperate attempt to conclude a familiar type of writing style. It looks like Yuri's, but it isn't hers. Damn whoever this is for toying with me by playing a game? I try to keep my mind off of what could happen to Yuri if I fail this, but the dark thoughts force themselves in anyway. I fold the piece of paper up and hide it in a nearby bookshelf. I should go and check Sayori's mailbox. Oi, Baka. Hi, Natsuki. Worried about Sayori's safety, I quickly approach her house. But up in her room, I can see her moving about. So she is safe. Good. When I get to her mailbox, I open it. A white flip phone and piece of paper sit inside. Dear Diverse, glad to see you're following directions. You're good at that, aren't you? Oh, and you're probably wondering, no, I haven't harmed your other girlfriends. I don't intend to. Besides, you'll do that eventually, eh? You always do, Diverse. Next, I want you to go take the cell phone with this note and call the following number tonight at midnight. You don't want to be early or late. Hello, what are you doing? I am streaming Yuri's Route in Fruits of the Literature Club. I picked up where I left off in the last stream because it broke on me. So yeah. I inspect the cell phone in my hands for any signs of a remote signal. It's not uncommon for cell phones to be used as miniature bombs. When I'm sure of no ironically suspicious attributes about the phone, I place it inside of my pocket. Checking my watch reveals that it is late before 20... I don't know what that is in Millington. 8 o'clock, I think. Yep, 8 o'clock. 4 hours I have to wait to call this number. Might as well look around for anything I can find useful until then. Looking around the exterior of my house, I see absolutely nothing out of the ordinary, which sends a new wave of concern over me. I'm usually very observant when something is out of the ordinary around my home. I'm trained to be observant. But so far, I don't see anything attention-catching. Walking completely around my house, I feel something different as I step. What is that? I crouch down on the ground and gently run my fingertips across the dirt. A footprint. Thank God! Grabbing my phone, I turn on the flashlight and try to get a good picture of the print. Looks like a shoe size around the same as mine. I shift my position and place my foot next to the print to compare. They're an unimportant difference in size, nearly the same. But the tread is different than mine. So that confirms this is not my print. Shining the flashlight along the ground around me, I notice several more of the prints. Surveying them carefully and quietly, they lead me to no important information. Damn it. I shut off my phone's flashlight and stand back up. It's almost time for me to call that number. Taking care of the blood on my floor with proper measures that I was trained to take care of. I grab a sample just in case. The frustration inside of me has definitely escalated into a much different emotion. I wouldn't say anxiety, but around that area. I'm worried for Yuri. Who and what happened to her? I should have just walked Yuri here. I shouldn't have had her come alone. I know this. I grip the side of my counter hard enough to make my knuckles turn white. I haven't told the other girls about this yet. I don't know how I could or would. Jesus Christ, what have I gotten myself into? Alright, it's time. I take out the cell phone and dial the number that was written on the note. Hello? Yuri? Yuri, it's Diverse! Diverse? No. What's wrong? I don't... Yuri cries over the phone, effectively shutting down her sentence. Yuri, are you okay? I need to know! Go on. Tell him! Another voice is heard over the speaker. I don't want you to get involved. You're Diverse. They want me to tell you to reveal who you really are to them. I don't know what that means, but they're forcing me to say it. I lower my voice to a near whisper. Yuri, where are you? Give me some kind of hint. Yuri isn't allowed to tell you that information. You need to find that out on your own. Go on, Yuri. Tell him the rest. What? Yuri's voice is completely monotone, like she's being forced to read from a note. Through her sobs, I can feel the intense fear she is experiencing. Please help me. That's enough! Oh. Hello? I can't read that. I'm sorry, I can't read the, But thank you so much for the, subscription. Really appreciate it, man. That's enough! I hear a loud crash over the phone and Yuri goes silent. Yuri?! Alright, Diverse. I think you and her have spoken enough. I swear to God, I am going to rip you open when I find you. Let's not dream of things that can never be. You're not that stupid. You certainly are not going to endanger Yuri by doing such a thing, are you? For once, you're not the one in control here. I want you to reveal who you really are to us, Diverse. You already seem to know who I am. Why do you need more? You're a mysterious guy. I have an interest in who you are. I have an interest in what you are. And how do you suppose I do this? You'll think of a way. Goodbye, Diverse. Oh, wait! The call ends. Feeling myself becoming too angry, I begin to calm myself down. I need to go about this carefully. Yuri's life is at stake, and I can't afford to screw up here. He said they wanted to know who I really was. Certainly hope it isn't regarding my job. Then, not only is Yuri's life at stake, so is mine. They must only be doing this to her to get at me. All of a sudden, my stomach drops and I feel remorse pump through my veins. Yuri. They're doing this to you because of me. I'm so sorry. I honestly have no idea how I'm gonna get her out of this. How am I even able to tell these people who I am? At least they aren't going to harm the other girls. And reverting back to my hostage recovery training, they won't harm Yuri too much if they truly want something out of me. I could call Julia, but I know exactly what she would say. I'm sorry, but this is too high of a risk for you to reveal that information. You'll just have to deal with the consequences and forget about Yuri. Even imagining those words piss me off. I really hope it didn't have to come to this. But I guess it did. The classroom? I know this is going to be difficult for you, Diverse. What? What? What in the... What? How in the world did you three do that at the exact same time? Wow! That was impressive. Holy crap. I applaud to you, all three of you. Yandere Gaming, Mystery, and C Artistic Studio. Thank you so much. Also, hello, voice actor for Natsuki. How have you been? Also, get pranked, nerd. It wasn't a prank. It made me laugh, so I didn't consider it anything like harmful. Anyway, thank you for that. Thanks for that. All right, where am I? I know this is going to be difficult for you, Diverse, but I know you can do it. Why in the hell am I doing this in the first place? Well, you need to learn to socialize with others like a normal person. So man the fuck up and get it over with. Ugh. Even the weirdos here aren't anything in comparison to you. I understand what you went through with your father, but please. Please try to overcome those emotions and try to socialize normally. Hey, I'm good, but anyway, have a good stream. Thanks, Lee. You can't stay? I guess that's fine if you can't. You're not a child anymore. And you know I'm not gonna treat you as one. Ashley kneels down to face me eye to eye. You're becoming a stronger man every day. Please, for me, try to put those emotions behind you. I won't make any promises. But I can try to do it for you, Ashley. She smiles and wraps her arms around me. Stop. After a moment, she releases me from the hug and stands back up. Alright, I think you're good now, sir. Alright then. Is this sappy love shit over? Indeed. One of my class instructors walks into the room and places his fiery gaze onto me. Ashley waves and walks out of the room. Alright, kid. Get the fuck up and get outside. We're doing some incentive training. Yes, sir. Placing my hands on my desk, I slowly stand up. Faster! Yes, sir. Speeding up my motions, I stand up and quickly walk out of the room. The night sky is very pretty right now. Every minute or so, I take a quick glance up into the vast ocean of deep and dark blue that blankets the land. Come on, get your ass moving! If I can move faster than you, you're doing it wrong. Yes, sir! Desperately trying to catch my breath, I continue running down the track. My instructor is gaining more and more distance in front of me. I want to go home. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this anymore. My lungs burning, my legs crying for me to stop, my will weakening. I stop and drop to my knees and gasp for air. I've been running for almost an hour. I can't do this. Leaning forward, I throw my hands onto the ground to support me. tears filling my eyes, I look to the ground and silently cry. Are you seriously giving up on me right now? Get your ass up and get over here! Get your ass over here! I swear to God, I am going to shove my foot up your ass. You're fucking useless. You know that? Never once have I ever liked you. You're going to die here, you worthless piece of shit! Shut up! Gripping my skull, I swing myself back and forth violently. You piece of shit! How could you do that to me? I hate you. I want you to die. I want you dead! Screaming at the top of my lungs, forcing my eyelids closed as hard as I can, I see a figure stand in front of me. He's taunting me. He's mocking me. He's proving that I am nothing. Ah! I slam my fists onto the ground violently. When I open my eyes, I realize where I am. I'm not at home. My father isn't here. My instructor stands in front of me, completely shocked. Looking down on the ground, I notice a small spatter of blood. My hand is bleeding. It must have been when I was slamming my fist onto the asphalt. I'm not gonna let you turn me into a worthless scumbag like you. If I have to run tonight to get away from this, I will. Standing back up, I face my instructor. Sir, I apologize. I'm ready to begin running again. Without allowing him to respond, I force myself to start jogging again. When I pass by him, his face turns from shock to satisfaction. We've finally broken you. And that they did. They were able to rebuild me. After graduation, I went with Ashley and Julia on a little trip, where I was tested even further and to much more straining extremes. That is where I emerged a different man. Someone much stronger than normal. Someone who will take no hesitation when something needs to be done. Someone who isn't afraid of death. Someone who can handle anything that gets in his way. Yuri, I'm going to fix this, Yuri. I promise. Hey, Goji fan! Alright, calm down, Scorpion. Yeah, there's a... Back again. Hey, Zach! What's up? My alarm clock comes to life. I smash the off button seconds later. It's already 6. I didn't sleep at all last night. How could I? I was too busy searching through documents in a call with Julia, trying to scrounge up any information I could possibly use. But we came up with nothing. Eventually, she decided it was time to call it a night and went to bed. I stayed up. I got exhausted, so I came up to my room and lay down. But I couldn't fall asleep. My mind refused to let me sleep at a time like this. Sitting with my puppy on the couch. Aw! Tell them I said hi. What if Yuri isn't sleeping? What kind of torture are they putting her through? It kept me up. Kept me motivated. Kept me focused. I'm dreading going to school. I don't want to be around other people right now. Especially the literature club. How am I gonna break this to them? Oh, hey girls, sorry, Yuri was kidnapped because of me, and they're using her as a ransom for me. Yeah, that'll go well. Jesus Christ. Forcing myself off of my bed, I glance around the room. I did, she just licked my hand. Oh, that's adorable. All she wanted to do was read a book with me. This is almost too much. I decide to lie down for a little while longer and actually rest. This feels nice. My body's finally relaxed. I know I have to rest at least a little bit, or my mind won't be able to focus on the situation at hand. My door is being rapidly knocked on, which takes me out of my short rest. Until I look at my watch, which reads 7:20. What the hell? How did that much time pass in? Whatever. I get dressed really quickly in my school uniform and answer the door. Oh, there you are! I was getting worried about you. It's really late and we're gonna be tardy. Why are you here, woman? I was waiting for you! Wait, is everything okay, Diverse? Keep your damn questions to yourself. Let's go already. While Sayori and I hasten to school, my yawning becomes more and more frequent. Diverse, did you get any sleep at all last night? Nope. Not even a wink. What? That's bad for you! I know it is, Sayori. I just had something on my mind. It kinda kept me up. Was it a nightmare? In essence, yes. I rub the back of my neck as we walk down the street. Why does Sayori all sound like Mickey? A lot of people tell me that my Sayori impression is relatively close to Mickey Mouse. Except Mickey Mouse is more kind of drawn out. Like this. Except Sayori is a little more nasal. Yeah, that's the difference between them both. I rub the back of my neck as we walk down the street. Well, at least it's over now. You're awake and you're coming to school with me. I wish, Sayori. I wish. Sayori, so innocent and harmless. Her happy smile gives me comfort. But I know that when I tell her about Yuri, it will be replaced with sadness and fear. I don't want to do that. The very thought of facing the girls with this news makes me sick to my stomach. I'm accustomed to delivering bad news. Sayori Clubhouse. Off-brand Minnie Mouse. No, no, I don't take offense to that. I think that's a funny comment. I'm accustomed to delivering bad news. Some sadistic part of me actually enjoys it. But it's much different in this circumstance. The people that I gave bad news to usually deserved it. But these girls, they don't deserve it. I had no right to come into their lives and bring such chaos. Throughout the school day, I keep reflecting on my relationship with Yuri. I know we weren't dating, but I still grew very close to her. She made me feel comfortable when I was with her. She and I shared a lot of the same anxiety. She deals with her problems on the inside and ends up cutting herself on the outside to help with it. Everything she said to me the night of the sleepover hit me personally. I can relate with it. She and I are closer than we both really thought. I still haven't fully overcome my own internal battles. And I don't expect them to conclude anytime soon. But the least I can do until then is end this battle. And then help Yuri resolve her battles. I I silently chide myself as I recall all the times I gave Yuri a sour tone when she was hesitant and shy. She didn't know how to properly present herself to someone like me. She didn't deserve that. As the other students in my last period class begin to exit, I feel my muscles grow tight and cramped. I yawn, stretch, grab my bag, and leave too. Reaching the outside of the literature club, I stop for a moment and compose myself. All of a sudden, I feel someone push me from behind. Who the f- You're in the way! Oh, it's you. Yo, Natsuki.
Hi. Why aren't you in the club room yet?
Oh, I was just thinking about something.
Must be something pretty intense since you look completely out of it.
I guess you could say that.
Is everything alright?
Nightmares come true for me.
I don't know what you mean.
Let's go inside the club room. I need to tell all of you anyway.
Alright.
When Natsuki and I walk into the club room, Monica and Sayori are already waiting for us. Oh, you're here! That I am. Listen, can I tell you
Sorry about yesterday. I had a doctor's appointment.
That's not a problem at all, Natsuki. We all really missed you. We didn't do much other than tell stories while you were gone.
Stories?
Yeah, we didn't want to read poems or do anything without you, so we just made short stories and told them until it was time to go.
I'm glad I missed it then.
Girls,
yay! Almost everyone is here! I hope Yuri gets here soon.
About that, yeah, normally she's one of the first people here. Girls, I need to talk to all of you. What about Diverse?
Shouldn't we wait for Yuri then?
She isn't coming.
What? Yuri never misses the literature club!
I need to tell you all something. Please, sit down. Each of the girls sit down and look at me puzzled. When I begin to tell them about Yuri, their faces grow into shock.
No! No!
Oh my god, Yuri!
Yuri?
Each of their reactions hit me harder than I actually expected. I feel like a train has just hit me 3 different times. After explaining everything I know to them, I sit myself down and lean towards the floor. I avoid their dejected, tear-filled eyes and look down at the floor. So, they're trying to blackmail you into doing what they want? Or they will... Yes.
I know that Yuri and I never really looked like great friends, but she was one of my closest friends. I can't handle this right now.
Natsuki gets up from her chair and runs out of the club room. What's your opinion on my Huh? True or false? The FNAF movie would be better if they got rid of the red eyes and used the soulless ones from the first game's trailer. Yeah, true. But I can get past it. It gives the movie their own unique feel. And honestly, I can kind of get past it. It is just a movie after all. Or it could be an official movie, but it may not have anything to do with the actual game's franchise, like most of the other movie adaptations of games. So if I ever go and see it, I'm not going to think too much highly of it. I'm just going to think, oh, cool, horror movie based off of Five Nights at Freddy's. I want to see how scary this is, and if it scares me, I'm going to like it. That's my opinion on the FNAF movie. If it scares me, in which I know it probably will, I'm going to really like it. So, yeah, I can't wait to see it. Natsuki gets up from her chair and runs out of the club room.
Wait!
Sari runs after her, leaving only Monica and I in the room. I look up at Monica, who's trying her damnedest to keep composed. I'm sorry, Monica. No, don't apologize. It's not like you knew this was gonna happen anyway. But you did say she was not dead, right? Correct. I was forced to call a number and it was her. And I presume that this is what they said they wanted you to tell them who you really were? Correct. Monica walks over to the door of the club room and closes it. She grabs a chair, sets it down next to me, and promptly sits. What do they mean by that? There's a reason I'm here with you all today, Monica. I've done a lot in my short life so far. A lot of it was due to my guardian, Ashley. She rescued me from my father when I was younger. Because of what I dealt with and experienced when I was with my father, I became jaded. I hated everyone. I didn't talk at all. I only prayed for death. She was persistent, though. She helped me become someone I was actually okay with being. The problems I dealt with, the internal struggles I faced, were eased when she was around. She was like my mother, although I'd never really call her that. When I was old and stable enough, she enrolled me in a special school funded by her job. It taught me a lot about myself. And it taught me a lot about the real world. I remember you mentioned how much you disliked your father. But I'm glad you were able to get out of that circumstance. And I hope your internal problems are resolved. I lean back onto my chair and sigh softly. Unfortunately, no. I can't run away from what I've done. I can't get away from who I am. I came here because I wanted to try and live a normal life. I wanted to get away from all of it and start new. Become a normal person for once in my life. But it seems I can't even do that. Monica wraps an arm around me and embraces me softly. What are you going to do about these people? If it's one thing I was taught by Ashley and my instructors, it's that I always need to have a plan. So you have one? Sort of, yes. But I don't really need you to get involved. So I'm afraid I can't tell you about it. For your safety, Monica. I understand. The dark room envelopes me like an infinite blanket of nothingness. My head really hurts. All I remember is that I went into Diverse's house and there was someone waiting inside. Oh no, I hope I'm not hurt too badly. I slowly and gently tap the top of my head with my hand. It's just an ache now. I don't feel anything serious there. Oh, that's right. They strapped me to a chair and forced me to read something to Diverse. He sounded really worried about me. I feel so awful. My eyes start to sting as I feel tears develop. I pat around me and feel that the floor is cold and hard. I think it's cement. Where am I? I can't see anything either. Hello? Is anyone there? No response. Struggling to stand up, I reach around until my hand touches something. After realizing I touched the wall sooner than I expected, I calmed down. Tracing my fingers along the wall, I try to find a door, or at least something I can help find my way out of here. I have to get out and find Diverse. I don't want these people to blackmail him. What if he gets in trouble because of it? What if he gets hurt because of it? No, I can't think like this right now. I have to prove that I'm strong enough to get out of here. I continue my creep along the wall until I reach another. Then I follow that one slowly. Wait, what's this? It reaches small divot in the wall. Searching up and down, I feel a doorknob. Yes! Please, please let this be unlocked. When I turn the doorknob, it doesn't catch. Yes! Opening the door, I finally enter another room with some light from the outside shining in. I practically run over to the window and stand on one of the boxes stacked under it. To my despair, I can't see out of it. It's completely frosted over. The only light from what seems to be the moon is shining in, illuminating ever so slightly. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay. Calm down, Yuri. Trying to keep myself calm, I look around the room. There looks to be a water heater, a ladder, some buckets, boxes, and a thermostat. None of these look useful at all. But then again, why would there be anything useful to me down here? I just got assaulted and kidnapped! I'm sure they checked this before shoving me here. And judging by the material of the walls and how cold it is down here, this is a basement. But a basement where? Oh, I feel very dizzy. I should sit down. Sitting down on one of the boxes under the window. Excuse me. Sitting down on one of the boxes under the window, I lower my face into my hands. 3 look. I know, I'm sorry. I was looking at the comments. Lila, just climbing on me. Aww. Got docked off the character list. Silence. I need to just take a few moments and relax. I need to remain calm. But it's so hard to. Wait, what is that noise? I can hear something from above. Where am I hearing it from? I stand up and search around the room until I reach one of the darker corners. There's a noise coming from a pipe that leads up through the ceiling. Sounds like someone's talking, but I can't quite reach the pipe to hear. But that gives me an idea. I grab one of the boxes from under the window, drag it over to the corner, and stand on it. Perfect. Now I can rest my ear closer to the pipe. Exactly. So once that guy goes into the room, some crazy bitch starts waving a knife around. The hell? Right? So he ends up getting cut a few times before the bitch just drops dead. Randomly, she just kneels over. Dude, you need to stop watching those channels. They're making you into some weirdo. Fuck off! I'm perfectly normal. Anyway, what are we supposed to be doing with that girl today? Not sure. I guess the guys are just waiting for the kid's move. Do you really think he's gonna take the bait? What other choice does he have? We have him over a barrel. And soon, I will have that girl over one too. Oh, come on, man. Don't do that to the girl. She already has enough on her plate as it is. Don't get soft on me. We have her on her knees. Not literally. Yet. Whatever, man. I'm not taking part in that shit. I have morals, you know? Morals? Look at what we're doing! You still think you have morals? Yep. Ugh, fine. I'll wait until the kid makes his move. What is that? No idea. So you're just gonna sit here and watch TV? You got a problem with that? Not really. I'll get a few beers. I want an ale. Not a lager this time. Lager? What is that? How do I pronounce that? How do you pronounce L-A-G-E-R? Lager. Oops. Hold on. Lugger. I want an ale, not a lugger this time, you uncultured cunt. They're the same thing. My god. So they're keeping me here and baiting Diverse in. You got a problem with that? Ah, shit. I have to find a way out quickly. If If Diverse gets hurt trying to save me, I might lose it. I don't think I could take it. I start to shake from fear slightly as I look around the room once more. How exactly am I gonna get out of here? An idea popping into my head, I climb up on one of the boxes and press against the window. I learned the difference of plastic glass and regular glass in one of my books. If I press on plastic glass hard enough, it should bend. Pressing my index finger against it, it doesn't budge, and the glass quickly fogs up around my finger. It's regular glass. If I break it, I could cut myself really badly. Lost the power of Google Translate. What? No, I didn't use Google Translate for that. I have no idea where I am. I could be miles from a hospital. Plus, it wouldn't be good for me if they caught me breaking out. Despair and a slight undertone of hatred begin to develop in my stomach. I just want to go home. I don't even know if I would be welcome back at the literature club. I always felt as if I have a burden on everyone. I just want to be accepted. Natsuki, Monika, Sayori, they've become my friends. But even after my father told me I wasn't normal, I always felt like my friends were never really my friends. When Diverse joined the club, he began to help me feel differently. He said he related to me in a lot of the same ways I feel. It made me comfortable. But the other girls, I don't know if they'd understand. Monika sat me down and talked to me about how I could cut myself. I told her that I'd try my best to stop it. But I couldn't hold true to do that. When Diverse started attending the club, I felt all my old resolve melt away. It's almost as if I was a girl who was experiencing her first crush all over again. You pronounce lager like lager, tried to help it. Oh, no, I appreciate it, thank you. It's almost as if I was a girl who was experiencing her first crush all over again. Whenever he was near, I couldn't look at him directly. Whenever he spoke, I felt giddy. Whenever he looked at me, I felt butterflies in my stomach. He was probably one of the only guys to treat me as a normal girl. Monika and some others who knew about my habits would always try to watch what they say around me. And they were overly sensitive for me, not that I really asked them to. They treated me like I was different, and all I wanted was just to be treated normally. Diverse was the only person to treat me as if he would others. I really appreciate that. Ugh, I guess I just have to wait for something to happen so I can try and get out of here. Find a corner of the room and sit down on the floor. I should at least try to get some rest as well. Leaning my head back against the cold, hard, grainy wall, I close my eyes. Time jump. It's been 3 days since I've been thrown down here. I'm still alive. Amazing. I barely have had anything to eat, and strange men make regular trips down here to scare me. Sometimes they hit me, sometimes they try to do more. Thank God I'm still alive. Could be much worse, that is for sure. It isn't super cold at night, so sleeping on the floor isn't too bad. My sweater, which is still intact, surprisingly helps a lot. Last night I took it off and used it as a cushion for my head. The difference was amazing. Sitting down on one of the boxes again, I begin to wait for my plan to start. Correct. I hear voices coming from the pipe at the corner of the room again. As I always do, I walk over to the box under it and stand on it. Once the shipment is done, you can go ahead and sell it. All of it? Yes. What about that kid? Diverse? He's still playing our little game. For real? I thought he would just break already. No, this kid is a fighter. He's following each of my little noises and oh fuck. He's following each of my little notes and requests. So he must really be adamant about getting this girl back. It's kinda noble if you ask me. Stupid. It's what we want. Once we get the information from him that we need, I can do what I want. Fill me in again. What exactly are you planning to do after all this? Don't worry about it. Yeah, you and your secret shit. Just keep me paid for watching over the girl and I won't ask any questions. Keep doing your job and you can expect a payroll. That's what I like to hear. So how is the girl? She's fine. Keep her fed and keep her alive. If she dies, then Diverse is no use for us. Are you really worried about this guy that much? There was a reason I was paid to get information about him. I mean, but he's just a high school kid, right? Nope. Something about him tells me that he isn't just an ignorant kid. He has a lot of interesting attributes about him. And how do you know all this? Yeah. I've been watching him. How else? Oh, I see. Well, I get some ringing occurs that I think is one of their cell phones. Oh, this is amazing timing! Yes? It's done. Over what seems to be a speakerphone, I hear Diverse's voice. Already? Why else would I call you? Maybe to find out what we did to your precious lavender beauty today? Cut the shit. I'm ready. You're what? I said I'm ready. I'll tell you all you need to know. Diverse, no, don't do that. Alright then, start talking. Nah, I'll tell you in person. You don't make the shots here. Tell me over the phone. The phone lines are monitored, you idiot. Even if I wanted to tell you now, I can't realistically do that. We'll have to meet in person. I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna try anything. You told me specifically not to do that or else Yuri dies, am I right? But in return, I want to see Yuri when I meet up with you. Prove to me she isn't dead or hurt too bad. You still think you call the shots? I've done everything you have asked for. Since I'm going to be giving you what you want, you can give me what I want. You know what? I'll think about it. The man's voice fades away. I think he's walking out of the room. So Diverse is going to tell these guys what they want to know. I just hope they don't hurt him. I'd really like to see him again. I hope they take me with them. I can only imagine the hell they've put Diverse through. And he's enduring it all. For me. Well, if he can be strong for me, then I can be strong for him. It's the least I can do. For now, I have to wait. It's been a few hours and everything has gone quiet upstairs. I think everyone is gone for a while. Now's my chance. I kneel down in front of the basement door and insert a small metal... Excuse me. I kneel down in front of the basement door and insert a small metal key that one of the guys dropped. Must have fallen out of his jackets and has beat me yesterday. As he beat me yesterday. I've just been waiting for a safe opportunity so I can get out of this basement and maybe escape. Opening the door, I walk out into a blue hallway. Trying to stay as quiet and as calm as possible, I look around for anyone or anything that I have to stay away from. This place looks huge. Why was I in such a small basement? Well, since there are stairs, I might as well take them and see where they lead. There are more than 2 floors? Just what kind of place is this? Peeking silently around the corner of the wall down a hallway, it's completely empty. I don't hear anything either. No machines, no ventilation, no people. It has a very eerie sound that reminds me of one of the books I've read. It's so silent that I can hear my heartbeat. Quietly moving up the stairs to the 3rd floor, I stop halfway up. Do I hear someone? After standing still, holding my breath for what seems like an eternity, I dismiss it and continue up the stairs. Is this a school or office of some sort? The wall on my left is bordered by many small lockers. Several doors are on my right. Quickly moving to one of the windows, I look out into the afternoon. I have no idea where I am. The building from the outside doesn't look familiar at all. The area around it is completely foreign to me. If I can find a way out of here without being caught, I can go find help. Excuse me. As my mind wanders through several scenarios, I hear a door open down the hall. I practically dive to one of the walls blocking the view. Oh no, oh no, oh no! Someone's coming! Frantically looking around at the brink of tears and anxiety, I notice a small metal desk that I can hide next to. Getting under it, I hold my breath and desperately try to remain calm. The footsteps get closer and closer. They get closer until they are in front of the desk. No, 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 no! Then they stop directly next to me. Oh my god! Tears filling my eyes, I continue to hold my breath. My lungs are starting to ache. I can't make a noise. I can't! The person is right next to me. Any noise would alert them. Please, please go away! My lungs are now burning at this point. Heaving a sigh, the person turns around and starts to walk away. I continue to hold my breath until the footsteps fade to nothing. On the brink of passing out, I finally uncover my nose and my mouth and allow myself to inhale. That was too close. If I'm gonna get out of here, I should be more careful. But after all that, I should probably get back to the basement and hide the key again. If they try to check on me and I'm not there, it would spell out something very bad for me. When I reach the bottom of the staircase again, I get an idea. What if I find a phone or something I can use to call Diverse? I may not know where I am, but I have seen enough to describe my location. Maybe he can find me. A smirk growing on my lips, I feel a twinge of excitement and relief wash over me. But it doesn't last more than a second before I look at the basement door and find it wide open. Oh no! Did I leave it open when I left, or did I close it? I can't remember. Oh god, please don't have any of them check and find out I was gone. I return to the basement and close the door behind me, making sure to lock it from the inside. The knob is a weird one I have never seen before. It doesn't have a normal twist or push lock. It has key slots on both sides. Hiding the key in between my breasts under my bra, I look around the basement and realize I'm alone. Practically feeling my knees buckle out under me from relief and exhaustion, I return to my corner of the basement and relax. That was way too much for me to experience all at once. I made sure to look around for anything I could use as a weapon if I needed to, but I was too panicked to really focus. If I have the opportunity tomorrow, I'll get something to use to defend myself with. It's getting harder and harder to deal with my emotions, though. Everything is just too intense. I know I'm going to regret this, but I can go on without it. Reaching through my collar and into my bra, I retrieve the key. Holding it between my left index and thumb, I roll back the sleeve of my right arm. Shaking severely, I place one of the sharper teeth of the key against my wrist. I'm sorry, Diverse. You made me promise that I won't cut myself anymore. But that is something I can't follow through with right now. Pressing the tooth onto my wrist, I feel a very painful sting as it penetrates my skin with a grotesque pop. Ah! A small bead of crimson starts to leak out from under the key. Sucking in air through my teeth, I gently turn the tooth around in a circle to enlarge the cut. Feeling my skin tearing repeatedly as I turn it. But it isn't helping the pain or the anxiety. Normally the stinging helps me calm down. Why isn't it helping? Tears begin to appear in my vision. I dig the key a little deeper into my wrist, feeling the teeth separate muscle and flesh. But all I feel is the pain, not the same relief I felt before. It doesn't make any of my anxiety go away. Why isn't this helping? This is a nightmare. I need to go deeper. It will help if I go deeper. My emotions start to run ragged into my mind. Don't cut yourself. It isn't right. Do it. No one cares anyway. You promised him you wouldn't. He's gonna die anyway, like you. Just keep holding on to hope. You are better than this. He probably hates you anyway for putting him through this. He cares about you. That is why he's trying to fight for you. Complete anxiety taking over me, I lower my head and sob quietly. What would you say if you were here, Diverse? You idiot! Did I not tell you what to do? Draw on yourself if you ever feel the need to cut. I'm not giving up on you. Don't give up on yourself either. I'll be damned if I have to bandage you up again. Snapping out of my stupor, I look around. Diverse? To my complete and utter disappointment, I'm still alone. But he's right. I can't just keep hurting myself. I can't give up. If I keep him in my mind, and I try to draw myself, that may help. There's no pen around here. Realizing I have little to no options left, I take the tooth of the key in my arm and use it as a quill. My blood is the ink. Using as much of the blood that leaks out of my arm before it clots, I start to silently draw on myself with my own blood. I can't make that wound any deeper or worse, so I should keep the tooth away from the inside of it. I can do this. I can overcome this. At least until I get out of here. Ugh! That was horrible! This is terrifying to see Yuri's thoughts about cutting herself. It really is. One night later, Yuri shoots up to the facility. It's nearly time. I've played their games for too long now. Luckily for me, it's given me enough time to strategize and reinforce my original plan. I'm out of patience. I haven't heard anything about Yuri lately. That's what worries me. She's seriously hurt or worse, like hell they are going to get information out of me. I'll do whatever is necessary to get Yuri out of this. It wasn't right for me to come here and disrupt these girls' lives. And I'll make this right, even if it costs me my life. Diverse, are you still there? Oh, yeah, I am. I returned the phone back up to my ear. Sorry, I spaced out for a moment. So, what exactly are you planning to do? They think I'm gonna tell them everything they want, in return for Yuri. You're not going to? Strategia, shut up! I'm sorry! Do you think I'm stupid, Monica? If I tell them, I can forget about saving Yuri and begin running. Because at that point, they won't be my concern. I see. Your job, right? Mm-hmm. Monica sighs over the phone, revealing the stress she's under. Sort of irritates me because I'm under more stress than her right now. But I suppose any disrespect to her since I can understand she has her own worries as well. The Literature Club has been extremely heartbroken over Yuri's circumstances. Me being off and on attending hasn't helped either. I can't really attend when I am running these ridiculous errands these idiots are asking of me. Listen, I need to be going now. Please, stay safe. No promises. I'm getting Yuri out of this no matter how dangerous to me it is. I want you to come back to the club. Can you promise me that at least? No. Goodbye, Monica. Stay safe. I end the call just as she tries to stop me. I'm sorry, Monica. I can't afford to make promises I know I can't keep. There's a big chance I'm outnumbered tonight. There's an even bigger chance I'm gonna need to fight. Which reminds me, it's time for me to prepare. Getting to my room, I reach under my bed and pull out a solid black case. Picking it up, I place it on my bed and input a code into the lock. 4912. The case opens up and reveals a specially... Oh my god. The case opens and reveals a specially built Walter PPQ that has been filtered for 45 ACP cartridges. It is not my handgun of choice, but it's useful in more ways than one. I just go in there Doomslayer style. The serial number has been altered to prevent it from being traced to any specific origin. If anything were to happen to me, due to how common it is, coupled with the modified serial number, any identity of where I got it or who I am will be useless. Grabbing the handgun, I slide in one of the several magazines sorted in the case. I take the remaining magazines and slide them into the sides of my belt. This will make the fact that I have a concealed weapon more covert. Put the handgun in my belt line as the small of my back, and lock the case. It's time. This time. The time jump, I think? Yep.
Where is he?
No clue. It's whatever, though. His loss.
He will show up. It's not like he has any other choice. He arranged this himself.
Yes, I did.
There's the man of the hour. Good to see you, buddy.
You came alone? Yes. I just want Yuri to be safe. I wasn't going to bring anyone else if it meant endangering her further.
Good boy. You're such a good dog, taking orders as you're supposed to.
He's berating me. The man on the left seems to be the one in charge of meeting me. Can't make out any familiarity in him, so he's a stranger to me. But I'm not to him. The man on the left is about 5 feet 7 inches. The man on the right is 6 feet even, I think. The one on the left doesn't look as muscular. He looks like he knows how to fight. What's wrong? Aren't you excited to see your friend?
You look like we've deceived you, Diverse. Is that it? Is that what you think?
I was more so wondering when you would shut up so I could tell you what you want to know.
Huh? Don't get cocky or smart with me, boy.
Let me see Yuri. Talk first. I want proof she's alive. I turn to look at the man on the right, practically staring through him. Give me those eyes again and I will rip them out of your head.
You want proof she's alive? Here.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a handkerchief stained red. This is from when the little bitch fought back at your place. She wasn't an easy catch, but I managed to subdue her. She's a submissive one after a while. Make quick work of her. I'm sure you did as well, Diverse. The hell do you mean by that? Word under school hall is that you two are pretty close. Close enough to where you two spent the night drinking together. Is that what you think? Oh my god, you're hilarious. Is that the entire reason you lied to me about bringing her here? Well, wait, you know? Do you know who I am? Do you know what I am? The man on the right takes a step back. Perfect. Intimidation factor has been placed. But the man on the left seems unfazed.
You're more intelligent and perceptive than we thought. Mind spilling some beans now before we spill yours?
Taking a step closer to them, I smirk slightly and open my arms, effectively revealing to them I have nothing to defend myself with. Ask away.
Where did you become so tactful?
I learned from an older woman in my life.
Who and where?
Let's see. Your mother and in your bed.
That was good! I'd expect that type of joke from you. Maybe after all, you do have a sense of humor. Now give me a straight answer.
I learned from a woman named Ashley Siegman. I can't answer the location because there's no specific one. I've been trained over several countries and by several people.
Oh, interesting. Now, you're quite the talk of a mystery around your school. What do you do for your job, perhaps? I'm a janitor. A janitor? You gotta be kidding me. You can't come up with anything else than that? If you don't believe me, I'll show you my business card. I'm intrigued, but I think I'll do the honors. The man on the right slowly walks behind me and grabs both of my arms. I don't resist. Wrapping one of his large hands around both of my wrists, he tightens his grip and restricts me from being able to move my arms. Right pocket, in the wallet, third sleeve on the left. You're pretty organized, aren't you? Listen, if a man can't tell you what he has in his wallet at all times, he isn't a man. The big oaf behind me clumsily searches the right... The big oaf behind me clumsily searches my right pocket and grabs my wallet. Examining it, he finds the sleeve I described and grabs one of the many cards I have. What? No way. What is it? I lower my head and give the man on the left a cheeky smirk. He's telling the truth. He has a card and it looks legit. Hey, Godzilla. Mind loosening your grip a bit there? You're kind of squeezing too tight. Shut up. Like I give a damn if you're in a little discomfort. He begins to squeeze tighter. Perfect. I try to struggle slightly by pushing a bit of my own force against his body. He reacts by kicking me on the inside of my knees and bringing me down to both. Oh! Stop struggling, you little prick! The other man walks closer to me. So tell me, janitor boy, how does a kid like you possess such skills and only land a janitorial job? My plan was to join the military someday. I wanted it to be after I graduated high school. Interesting. Now you see, this doesn't add up. Your personal record from Island Bay tells me much differently. What? How in the hell did he get my record from my old school? Oh, I see you're surprised by that. It isn't hard to look up literally anyone when you have connections. And we have more than you will ever believe. Yeah, same here. Stiffening my muscles, I slam my head back onto the groin of the guy holding me down. He reacts by releasing his grip on my arms and nearly buckling over. Standing up quickly, I swing my torso and right elbow counterclockwise and make contact with the side of his head. Crashing onto the ground behind me, I look towards the big cheese in front of me. So you've been playing us this entire time. You're good, aren't you, Diverse? And you're not. I try to walk towards him, but the guy behind me wraps his hand around my foot, catching me off guard and restricting me from going any further. Get off me, you parasite! Get back here! You're not going anywhere, boy. Second hand grips my arm and pulls me down onto the ground with him. Ah! He crawls on top of me and wraps both hands around my throat. Damn, this isn't good. He's much bigger and his hands are huge. Taking in as much breath as I possibly can until my airways block completely, I hold it. I need to think fast. I can't get to my gun since I'm on my back. There aren't any rocks around either. He's keeping his head out of my reach too. I can't bite either since his hands are under my jaw. I'm starting to get dizzy now. I can't kick either, he's sitting directly on my stomach. God damn it. My lungs are now burning, the ache becoming increasingly more difficult to bear. Thousands of failed ideas pop into my mind just as the stars start to appear in my vision. Fuck. This behemoth's grin pisses me off. You're gonna die right here, right now, little man. I reach in my left belt loop under my shirt and retrieve one of my magazines. Gripping the bottom part of it, I use as much of the energy I have left to slam one of the jagged edges into his arm. I successfully managed to cut his arm open and potentially fracture it. Ah! What's that question mark?
He recoils, releasing his grip on my throat. You little prick! Finally having some air and room to move, I bring my upper body up enough to headbutt him. Ah! As he falls backward, I slide out from underneath him and press my foot on his neck. He grips his arm with agony on his face. Agony is very quickly replaced by panic as I press my foot down, cutting off his airway just as he did to me. Narrowing my eyes at him, I feel a minute wave of remorse wash over me. Don't kill him. He isn't worth it. No, I can't let him live. He'll go after me and Yuri again. If you kill him, it could backfire on you. Remember what Ashley said. No, I can't hesitate this time. I will not fail this time. I need to save Yuri. This is just one of the consequences I will have to live with until it's over. Feeling a migraine coming over me, I remove my foot from his, now deceased, neck. Where did that other guy run off to? Son of a bitch! I didn't think he would actually overpower James! I should have just shot the kid when I had the chance right there. Well, he reacted to the Island Bay comment. That means I was correct. I got just enough to continue the plan. Ha 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 ha! Time to call the others and tell them to do what we planned with the girl. The club room. Before killing them, you wonder why I wear red? Blah, blah, blah. Deadpool! Military janitor. Wait, was that a One Piece reference? I've never seen One Piece. Yuri and I sit in silence, writing together. She decided it was a good idea for us to try and write a poem together. Is this a flashback? I don't really care enough to fight back on this. She really wanted to do it, so why not? Her handwriting and mine are pretty much night and day, but how we are alternating makes it look surprisingly nice. Yuri writes a line, I follow, rinse, and repeat. We've also grown closer since I joined the club a month ago. But every so often I will glance over at her to be greeted with a very bright smile. Something that the other girls noticed and kept giving me preemptory glances for. Apparently Yuri was never this... What was the word for it? Blissful? It's not a bad sight. It's nice to see her smile every once in a while. You look pretty cheerful right there, Yuri. Do I? I guess today I'm just feeling really comfortable and relaxed. That's good. So, looks like we finished the poem. I don't think Monica and the others are done with theirs. Would you like to make tea with me? We do this, like, every day, but sure? Come on. Yuri grabs my hand and gently pulls me towards the door. Our normal glass pitcher, waiting for its daily fill, sitting on a bookshelf right next to it. I grab it before Yuri manages to get me out of the room. Alright, let me turn my light on. I'll be right back. It'll take me like 5 seconds. Okay, much better. Wee, coming back. Oh, there we go. Walking down the hallway with Yuri, I notice her movements are a lot different than normal. Normally, Yuri hunches over slightly and looks hesitantly around as she goes. But her stance is straight and confident, and she looks forward without any hesitation or timidness. Well, look at you! Where did all your shyness go? You noticed. I'm putting on a front. Was it convincing? Actually, yeah. I'm glad. Well, good for you. What caused you to do it? The other girls wanted me to try and act confident around you. Confident around me? Oh my god! I just said that out loud! What's so bad about that? It's nothing. I kind of wanted to be more like one of the people you hang out with. What? Why the hell would you want to do that? I thought you wanted to be more open and at home around me. Trust me, do not be like the people I used to be around. They aren't people I want to be around anymore. And I don't want you to change who you are, Yuri. Really? Yeah, even if you are extremely difficult to handle and talk to, I'd still enjoy the time we spend together. I mean, I could be in worse places or talking to other people. I appreciate that. A lot. Thank you, Diverse. No problem. Let's fill up the pitcher and get back already. I don't have all day, woman. Right. We reach the usual water fountain and Yuri starts to fill up the pitcher. I assume my normal position and lean against the wall and wait for her. Yuri may not be the perfect girl, or the most socially eloquent or as assertive, but her shyness and gentle nature seem to kind of mellow out my callousness. Something I have held on to for a long time. It's one of my least favorite attributes about myself. Everyone I meet, no matter who they are, I immediately shut myself off from them and try to profile them. Try to categorize like an object that has no real purpose to me. Ashley hated that trait that I picked up from her. She may have taught me everything I needed to know, but maybe she taught me too much. Your voice, Yuri, like how MatPat voiced that. Oh, you voice Yuri like how MatPat voiced now? Are you kidding me? I mean, I've never watched MatPat. Yeah, that's one thing. I don't watch MatPat. I've never really seen any of his videos. I'm sorry. And I hate who I've become. I guess that's what sparked me to try and live a normal life. Try and become something else. Maybe Yuri can help me with that. Feeling a little wave of excitement roll over me, I smile and wait to continue the club with her. Leaning back against the cold cement wall, I look around the room and think about what I have planned. With the key I was able to get earlier, I can get myself out of the basement and possibly find a way out. I hope I find a way. After everything that has happened, I've calmed down enough to form rational thoughts and think clearly. It's a godsend I was even able to control my breathing through this. It's all just so scary. My eyes sting as the tears begin to develop in them. But I brush them away just as quick as they came. I have to remain strong. I can't get out of here if I'm crying in the corner constantly. The noise above has been quiet for a while. Maybe I should try to leave now. Standing up and keeping my balance from the sudden head rush I get, I walk over to the stairs and begin to scale them. Try my absolute best to stay light on my feet because I don't want these stairs to make any noise as I go up them and alert anyone. When I finally reach the door, I insert the key and turn the knob. Closing the door quietly behind me, I make sure to lock it so it doesn't look suspicious to anyone walking by. I put the key back in my bra and start to quietly walk around the corridor. Just to the left of the stairway is a double door with fogged glass. Yes! Maybe I can get out from there. Quietly jogging to the door, I try to make anything out from the fogged glass. Can't tell if that is a person I'm seeing outside or a tree. But if I open the door quietly enough, I could sneak away if it's a person. My heart now in my throat, I reach down and grip the handle of the door, gently pressing a button to open it. Pulling the door toward me. Nothing. Doesn't even budge. No, don't tell me this one's locked too. I kneel down to look at the handle and notice there is a slot for a key much bigger than the one I have. Cursing under my breath, stand back up and walk around the hallway some more. I could go upstairs, but I don't think there would be a way out of the building up there. My best bet would be to try and find another way out down here. This is the front entrance, there should be a back entrance too. And since this looks like a building for education, there might also be a faculty door as well. Where could I find those? Walk back near the basement door and notice a dark hallway inconspicuously hidden near an old receptionist desk. The material of the floor changes as soon as I start down the hallway. It goes from a nicely maintained marble floor to a dusty and slightly painted concrete floor. Kinda looks like someone ripped up carpet or tile and just left it the way it is. So maybe this was an old hallway that was in the middle of a renovation? So maybe this was an old hallway that was in the middle of a renovation? Whatever it is, the darkness of it amplifies the atmospheric and eeriness to a whole new level. It sends shivers down my back. The good thing, however, is that if anyone comes looking for me, this is a great place to hide. To see from the start of the hallway to wherever the end is, I need a flashlight. But even then, there are buckets and ladders I can hide behind. Continuing down the hallway, I accidentally kick something heavy and metal. A loud crash and the sound of what I think are screws, nails, fall. A loud crash and the sound of what I think are screws and nails following echoes through the corridor. Immediately covering my mouth with my hands, I dropped to my knees and leaned down for a second. Oh my god, why did I do that? After an extremely intense minute of silence, I don't hear anything. Doesn't seem like anyone heard that. Oh, thank God. I placed my hands onto the ground in front of me and let myself recover. Feeling around, I confirmed that I knocked over a can of screws and nails. After getting to my feet, I carefully progressed through the dark hallway. At this point, not even the light from the start of the hallway helps me see. I'm just going by instinct and intuition. Pressing the walls as I go, I feel around to make sure I don't hit or knock anything over again. Eventually, I don't feel the walls anymore and sense that I'm in an actual room now. The floor still feels the same as it did when I was going down the hallway, so I assumed this room was being renovated as well. I managed to find one of the walls and trace my hands across it until I come across a shelf. It feels barren aside from what feels like a cardboard tube here and there. But then my hand touches something sharp that makes me recoil slightly. A blade? Carefully grabbing it and feeling around the item in my hands, I recognize it as a box cutter. But the blade is still extended, so I withdraw it into the case and tuck it inside the side of my pants. Alright, time to find that door. A new sense of confidence burns within me. I keep feeling around the room until I find the hinges of a door. Yes! I find the handle and try to open the door. The knob turns, but the actual door doesn't budge. Damn it! Gently kicking the door in frustration, I feel something wedged at the bottom of it. Kneeling down, I touch it with my fingers, and it feels to be a rubber door wedge. Dad would use these for the garage all the time. This is what is keeping me from opening it. Reaching down and getting a grip on it, I try to pull the wedge out, but it doesn't move. Come on! I sit down and place my feet against the door and try to use leverage to pull the wedge out, but still nothing. I give the wedge one last tug with all my strength, and... pop! The wedge pops out. Sudden release of force throws me backward onto my butt. Yes! Stand back up and dust myself off, even though I can't see, and try the door one more time. It opens and a gust of air flies into the room with me. Again, the room beyond the door is dark, but I can see a small lit-up exit sign that points down another hallway. I venture down the hallway once more until a pair of hands grab me from behind. What do we have here? One of the hands wraps around my mouth and stops me from screaming. I try to shake and fight back as much as I can, but the person is just too strong. He wrestles me to the ground and presses my head against the concrete. Now, how did you get out here? I knew I heard something earlier. However, the bosses don't know that I found you yet. I can still have my fun with you. A wave of nausea hits me like a truck when I realize what those words mean. I kick and shake as hard as I can to get free, but it's to no avail. He lets go of my mouth and I immediately scream for help. You little bitch! You're gonna alert them! Something hits my head really hard and stuns me. I can barely fight back anymore. I just feel myself weaken enough to go limp. The hell was that? Another man walks into the room with a flashlight. Oh my god, you idiot! What the hell are you doing? The boss said not to touch the girl until we were given the fucking notice! The guy gets pulled off of me and the flashlight shines directly into my face. What did you do to her? I had to knock her out. You're an idiot! Help me get back... Help me get her back to the basement. Both of the men drop me onto the cold concrete floor of the basement and start to walk away. How in the hell did she even get out? James probably left the door unlocked like a dumbass again. He's probably planning on something else with the girl behind our backs. Like you just tried. You try a stunt like that again, you are fucked. Alright, fine. My head. I was so close to getting out. But thank God the other guy showed up when he did. If not... Ugh. My body shudders at the thought. These people are sick and they all need to go to a mental hospital. I just want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. Crawling back over to the corner of the basement where I rest, I lie my head against the wall and cry quietly. An unknown date. So how do you think he'll do? He will pass, I'm sure of it. Ashley and I look out of a one-way window into a large field with an obstacle course set up. I lean my back against the glass, and Ashley leans forward and rests her hands against the metal rail. That's good. You say that as if you think otherwise. I mean, there's always a chance he could fail. We've known this for a while. There was a chance we would fail too. He's taking the exact same examination that we did years ago. And from what I've heard, his instructors said he did very well. I heard too. He was the leader of his class. Something must have happened when we put him through initial training that motivated him. I see. Well, nevertheless, him making that change was for the better. I've seen a lot of determination from him, and it kind of scares me. Scares you? I feel like he could push himself too far one day, and that could be his downfall. Oh, I get it now. To be completely honest, Ash, I don't really know how to respond to that. I don't think he could get to a point like that, but for God's sake, it is Diverse we're talking about. The kid has been full of mystery since he came into our care. Exactly. His unpredictability will make him hard to control as an agent when he becomes one. That's why I'm going to be taking over as a division chief when he does. What? You're leaving the field? I have to. Diverse will need someone who can control him properly. Damn, Ash. I don't think I would have ever heard that Ashley would leave the field for division chief. She's a super hands-on woman, and not having her directly in operations will take some adjustment. And admin is okay with that? They're hesitant, but his performance so far only supports my case. I'm still not calling you ma'am. Ugh, don't even think about it. I bet you Diverse will call you Mammy. Jesus Christ, Julia! Ashley looks away in disgust as I laugh. The way you said that was too sexual! And you know I don't like to be called his mother. You basically are, though. Doesn't matter. I'm not a mother type of girl. Plus, he has a mother. She's dead, Ash. Still a mother. I will always love and care for him like a mother would, but I have no place in this world trying to take over as his mother. There were a few times he called you Mom. You remember? I do. I nearly broke down crying when he did. I've been meaning to ask you about that. One day a long time ago, Diverse called Ashley Mom a few times, and when he did, she just started crying. She never told me why or spoke about it. She just silently cried on the couch for a bit and then went back to normal. I don't know why, but it just made me feel weirdly emotional. Like, I was happy, but also very sad. I want to be his mom, but I can't. As I said before, that isn't my position to fill in his life as much as I would like. Ashley looks down to the floor and shields her face from me. I wrap an arm around her and gently pat her shoulder. It's okay. I'll be his mommy. You can be my insane sister. Ashley shoves her elbow into my ribcage with the speed of a lightning strike. You bitch! Rubbing my side, Ashley looks at me and sticks her tongue out. A green light appears over us and a loud buzzing noise rings out from a loudspeaker. Looks like he's starting. Finally! I come back to consciousness on a cold concrete floor, somewhere in the middle of a dark room. It's an all too familiar feeling that makes me feel sick to my stomach. Ugh. As I stand up, I rub my head to relieve the intense stinging that radiates from it. Damn, that hurts. Letting my eyes adjust to the darkness, it looks like I'm in a completely empty room where a few white disposable buckets scattered around. I quickly pat my pockets and check for my weapon, but it looks like all of it was stripped from me. Great. The door to the room sits across from me and serves as my way out. However, getting it open is going to be a problem. It's obviously locked and looks reinforced enough that kicking next to the knob won't do anything but make unnecessary noise. Right now, I really don't need to draw any more attention to myself. Looking into each of the plastic buckets, I find nothing of use besides a few nuts, a bolt, a broken screw, and a lot of dust. The labels on the buckets have been scraped off and now only leave the white traces of adhesive behind. Maybe I can use one of these to my advantage. Inspecting each of the buckets, I find one that is cracked on the side. Perfect. I take both of my hands and pry the bucket apart suddenly, creating large jagged edges as it cracks. Each time it cracks, it creates a lot of noise, so my eyes stay glued to the door. Finally breaking it down enough, I slam my left foot against the ground on top of the bucket, breaking it into manageable pieces. Scouring through them, I find a good-sized piece that is sharp enough to use as a self-defense weapon. As I put the piece of plastic in between my belt and pants for a makeshift sheath, the doorknob starts to shake. Instinctively, I quietly get to the right side of the door and hug the corner so anyone looking in won't be able to see me. What is that? No. What the hell? Where did he go? As he steps in, I wrap one of my arms around his throat and get him into a chokehold. I pull him inside of the room farther and kick the back of his knees to stumble him. Once he drops to his knees, I lean down and continue to strangle him. As his eyes start to roll back into his head, I give him some room to breathe. What the fuck? I tighten my grip and start to restrict his airflow one more time. Where's Yuri?
I'm not telling you.
You sure you want to do that? His eyes start to roll back in his head again and begins to go limp. But once again, I allow him to breathe and come back to consciousness before strangling him more. I can do this for a long time.
Monster.
He tries to swing upward and hit me but misses. I'm gonna ask you one last time. Where is Yuri?
I'm gonna kill.
He goes silent and loses consciousness. You're just gonna make me waste time until your buddies come to check on you. I'm not even going to waste my time killing you. I release my grip on the man and let him fall to the floor. Might as well leave him here. He won't be able to go out from the inside anyway. But let's take his keys. I'm gonna need them. I bend down and take his keys off of him and close the door behind me outside. Taking a moment to look through the keys, I find the correct one and lock the guy inside. The hallway I'm in is almost as dark as the room, but with a small window that lets in moonlight. The floor looks like it has been torn up and is raw. Perhaps it was a tile floor before? Whatever. The floor is the least of my concern. I need to find out where I am and if Yuri is here. Going through the hallway, I reach a door that looks as if it was bolted shut. Looks like I'm not getting through here. Next to the door is a moderately sized window. How far am I from the ground? Looking down from the window, there's a small drop, but enough to determine that I am on the first floor of whatever building I'm in. Tapping on the window, sounds like I could break it easily. The clearing on the outside looks like it would make a great escape route. But it isn't like I could just punch the glass and break it enough to get out. That's not only going to make a lot of noise, but it's going to shred the hell out of my arm. I'm going to need something to cover my hand and forearm if I'm going to be breaking it. After a few minutes of searching for anything suitable, I find a small patch of felt fabric. I place it next to the window and keep going down the opposite end of the hallway. Pacing through the hallway, I reach another room that bends to my left. Following it leads me to a lit-up reception area. Before showing myself to the area, I peek around the room to look for any cameras. Doesn't look like there are any that I can see. Finally stepping into the area, I see an overturned desk and some papers strewn on the floor. There was a struggle here, but who was involved and when this was are two things that are giving me a bad feeling. Quietly moving towards the desk, I notice there are small drops of blood splattered across the surface. It's still liquid, so it hasn't been long enough for it to dry, but it doesn't look as bright as fresh blood. There's no blood trail, so I can't tell whoever was hurt. But the papers have shoe prints on them, and they look around the same size as mine. The papers weren't moved since this altercation. Looks as if they were headed upstairs. Down the hall to my right, there's a door with the light inside on. I don't see any interior shadows indicating anyone inside, so I move towards the door and place my ear against it. I hear what I think is a TV, but no movement or anyone else speaking. It's unlocked. Quickly slipping through the door, the room gives off a homey vibe. The room has been repurposed to be more of a lounge, if anything. Carpet covers the floor with different designs and colors. A tan couch sits in the middle of the carpet towards a TV on a stand, and there looks to be some sinks, an oven, and cupboards. The room is basically a kitchenette. An overweight man sits on the couch with his head cocked to the side. Approaching him from behind, I see that he has passed out while eating a bag of chips. There's no silverware or cutlery anywhere in here, so I retrieve the sharp plastic from my belt. Getting close to the slumbering oaf on the couch, I lean down and wrap my arm around his throat, positioning the sharp plastic just in the corner of his peripheral vision.
Huh? Who are you?
Tell me where Yuri is.
Who?
The purple-haired girl you people abducted. Where is she?
Her? I don't know, man.
I press the sharp edge of the plastic against his neck. Listen here. You're going to tell me where she is, and I will let you go unharmed. But if you make me repeat myself again, I won't bother thinking twice about making some fillets out of you.
Listen, dude, I really don't know where she is.
You don't? Then what's with the overturned desk and blood out in the middle hall? Excuse me. Then what's with the overturned desk and blood out in the main hall outside, huh? He gulps and starts to sweat.
I don't know, man. I'm only here to make sure no one trespasses.
Looks like you failed. But maybe you can redeem yourself by telling me what I want to know.
I said I don't know where that girl is.
Then tell me where I am.
What?
I press my makeshift knife against his neck with more pressure now, just barely able to break skin.
We're at the old Statefield University building.
And why are we here?
It's easier to do what we do here.
And that is?
Just whatever we're asked, man. Sometimes we sell things for people, sometimes we distribute, sometimes we sell a space for storage.
So why exactly are you in the business right now of abducting 2 high school teens?
That's not something I know. The boss knows.
Who's your boss?
I've only seen him a few times. He never even told me his name.
So what you're telling me is, you're useless to me.
No! What else do you want to know? Please, I'll tell you anything. Just don't hurt me.
Stop crying and man the fuck up. Where are your buddies?
They don't hang around in specific areas. They like to move around. But the guy who was in charge of watching you two are probably still around here. As for exactly where, I have no idea.
Interesting. How many of you are there?
Too many to count.
Not good enough. Give me an estimate.
I don't know. Like 30?
One locked in a room, the other dead in the forest. Scratch 2 then. So you have quite the manpower here. Why is no one else in here with you?
I don't know.
You don't know anything, do you?
I'm just usually in here. The others left to do something a while ago.
What were they doing?
Are you sure you want to know?
Why would I ask?
They went to do something to that girl of yours.
What were they going to do to her? I squeezed my arm tight around his neck subconsciously.
I don't know. Something secret. I don't know.
You're so goddamn useless, it's annoying. You can't even tell me where she is, so I have no more use for you.
Wait!
I jerk the man's head at a specific angle, and he goes completely motionless and limp. As I do that, another set of arms wraps around me and pulls me back. How in the hell did you get out here? He pulls me back and through the door into the hallway outside. Several other men await me with grasping arms. About 4 more than the one who just grabbed me. Damn it, this isn't good. I shove my elbow into the nearest one's temple, stumbling him back. 2 of the men grab my arms, where I try to dead weight and collapse their heads together. When their heads hit each other, I grab one of their legs and try to throw it upward, but I'm grabbed from behind again. Placing my foot against one of the man's chests, I push off with as much energy as I can muster. It stumbles him back, and the guy holding me from behind topples over, giving me a window to escape his grasp. But as I get up, I'm greeted with what feels like a steel-toed boot straight to my left temple. My vision goes completely blurred, and stars appearing in and out of it. Try to stand back up before feeling another impact against my face. Falling onto my back, facing the ceiling, one of them places their foot against my chest and keeps me pinned against the ground. Looking around, I notice that the makeshift knife I had earlier is an arm's length of me. I reach over, grab it, and shove it into his calf.
Ah!
The other attackers around me start recovering, and I manage to get out from under the foot that has pinned me. But it isn't long before they're all on top of me again. Earlier? Looking at the box cutter that sits in my hands, I think about the other knives I have at home. They all have different uses and designs, they all perform differently, and they are beautiful. Even something as simple as this box cutter has some form of elegance to it. Just walked in, hey J Money! Welcome to the stream. In fact, everything has elegance to it. You just need to find it. But then it really just comes down to one's mindset. And I'm gonna be honest, my mindset is absolutely horrible. My thoughts eat at me, my insecurities swallow me, and even my own self-esteem deprecates me. It's a living hell, and the only real way for me to relieve it is to cut myself. Granted, it feels really good when I do, but I subconsciously know how dangerous it is. I could accidentally clip something and not be able to stop the bleeding. Especially in a situation like this. If I do manage to cut myself too deep, I can't really call 911 or bandage myself up. I just want to go back home. I just want to lie down on my bed and sit under my blanket forever. This is all just too much for me to really comprehend and handle. But I know I can't give up. Diverse is trying his hardest just to rescue me from all this. It's even gotten to the point where they were forcing him to do things that I know he's morally against. And then some of the men who kidnapped me told me that they managed to capture Diverse. But I don't think that's true. It could just be a lie to make me panic even more. I just really hope he's okay. Taking in deep breaths, pausing for a second, and breathing out, I try to calm myself down. I've been at the brink of tears for so long now that my eyes are genuinely starting to sting. Wiping away what tears were formed, I look around the barren and cold basement and lean my head back to the corner once again. You're just looking at her box cutter knife while MC is fighting for his life. Yeah, seems to be the look of it. Some noises above me caused me to open my eyes. I must have dozed off for a little bit there. Sounds like the guys above me are moving something. which leaves me with a worried and sick feeling in my stomach, but I try to ignore it and rest a little more. Stumbling above stops after a while, and then I hear the door unlock. 3 men stand in front of me and pull me up. Huh? Get off of me! I struggle and try to shake as hard as I can to get free, but their grip on me is too tight. They begin to pull me up the stairs, dragging my lower body against the wooden stairs as they go. Get off of me! I flail around and manage to free my left foot and immediately begin swinging it, kicking one of the guys in the groin. He drops my other foot, but all of the men force me into a wooden desk in the middle of the main hall. One holds me down by my shoulders, the other holds my legs down against the desk. The third, after recovering from my kick, reaches into his jacket. Help! Someone help me! The smack against my head shuts me up and makes everything go dizzy. What are they gonna do to me? After rustling through his jacket, the third man pulls out a medical syringe that has some fluid in it. Oh my god! He walks over to my left arm, and the man holding my shoulders maneuvers my left wrist out. Please, please don't do this! He doesn't respond and uncaps the syringe. Please! He places the needle against my wrist and inserts it into me. No! A very weird, warm feeling starts tingling up my arm and into my chest. I can't even bear to look at what he's doing to me. When I feel the needle leave my arm, some blood trickles from my wrist onto the desk. All the men let go of me and I roll onto my right side. The desk doesn't seem to support all of my weight on one side and it topples over. My right shoulder and side break my fall so my head doesn't hit the ground, but the force of the impact is enough to knock the wind out of me. How long until it takes effect? About 5 minutes. Depends on the girl's tolerance. It's kind of sad to see a young girl like her go through this. Yeah, but fuck it, I could care less. I get paid for this. Damn straight. I roll on my stomach and gasp for air, my body tingling like it's falling asleep. Oh god, I don't like this feeling. I don't like it at all. Not only am I having trouble getting my wind back, but the warm feeling against keeps spreading across my body. It's so uncomfortable. Everything starts to get dark in my vision tunnels. The tingling gets worse and worse. My hearing begins to muffle and fade into a constant static. Someone, help me, please. I lean forward onto the railing and look out into the water. Ashley stands off to my left, peering out into the same lake as I. She's been awfully quiet lately, and it's concerned me. It's been a little while since I was made an agent. And ever since then, she's acted completely different around me. Hi. Hey, Leonardo. Welcome to the stream. It brings back an all too familiar feeling from the past. One that doesn't sit well in my stomach and makes me slightly nauseous. And it isn't like I can really open up to Ashley about it either. I was trained to harbor any insecurities or emotional feelings I have. No one needs to hear or see that I have feelings. Makes me a more efficient agent. I do what I need to do, regardless of the circumstances or my own moral influence. But as a side effect, I feel like I've grown away from Ashley. Either that, or she has grown away from me. Nevertheless, it makes me a little disheartened. I remain silent and let my thoughts ramble at each other for a while. The occasional glare from the sun reflecting off the lake's surface catches my eye every so often. The quiet and peaceful atmosphere that surrounds us only makes it a little more awkward. Ashley's presence seems almost ominous, like it was only meant to make things more tense between us. But she ends up breaking the tension. Talk. What's going on in your head right now? Nothing. Why do you ask? You're absolutely quiet. It's annoying. Would you prefer I start screaming? Do it and you'll be thrown over this railing. It would be a refreshing change of pace considering neither of us were speaking at all for a while. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, I decide to go for it. You haven't been as talkative either. What's going on in your head right now? She remains quiet for a second, looking back down into the water. Through the reflection, I can tell she has a degree of sadness written across her face. It's nothing. Just some thoughts about getting to me, that's all. Thoughts? That's what I said. Care to elaborate? No. She raises her voice slightly, but enough for me to determine that something is definitely bothering her. I guess I can relate. I've been quiet because some thoughts of mine are eating at me too. Eh? I exhale sharply and look up into the sky. Focusing on the clouds, I begin to explain my concerns to Ashley. Ever since the examination, you've acted oddly around me. Granted, I really shouldn't care that you are, but for some reason I do. And I couldn't bring myself to say anything either earlier because everything that has happened to me over the years has definitely made me into someone I'm not familiar with. I don't really know how to feel about it, to be honest. I see. Well, it's not like I can blame you either. I was the one who trained you to become who you are now. So, I guess I'm at fault for that. I'm sorry. She looks off to the side and stops talking. Don't apologize for that. You took in a kid who only wanted to die after the deck of cards he was given was bad. You cared for that kid. You made sure he was given an education and that he was trained to become useful in life. You were always useful. You may not have noticed it until now, but you were. You were always useful to someone somewhere, Diverse. Even if it's for a day. You will know what you did was right when your memory lingers. How have I always been useful? You gave me a new outlook on life. You gave me a reason to I guess, care for someone other than Julia and myself. Ashley's words hit me hard. And that's because of a blonde in my life who gave me a chance and the opportunity. Yep. Listen, though. Diverse, I know you have a lot going on inside of your mind. And considering where you came from and what you had to deal with your father, I understand it makes you think. And sometimes you feel as if you only cause problems and you don't know if the path you take is truly right. I remember our conversation that night. I definitely opened up more than I should have. I shake my head in slight embarrassment and look back down onto the lake. Well, it just assured me that you actually had feelings. I resent that. Can you blame me? You literally never spoke Excuse me. Can you blame me? You literally never spoke at all after we picked you up. You didn't react to anything. You barely even ate anything. And when you finally did show a trace of emotion, I was ecstatic. Yeah, I get it. Anyway, I know sometimes you feel like that, but always remember what I taught you, and what feels right to you. You have your training, but you also have your own judgment. Never confuse or forget the two, alright? Right. I appreciate it, Ashley. I scoot closer to her and pat her shoulder before turning and walking away. I know you just want the best for me. But I don't think you understand the true things I feel inside. All of the training you put me through, after what my instructors tested me with, and what I've done during my short tenure as an agent, they all leave me with various tribulations that constantly battle with each other. And they're the source of my internal war. And one day, that war will end, and one of them will win. That day scares me. My eyes open just to be filled with dust and dirt. Ah! The intense stinging from the dirt causes my eyes to water, making the pain even worse. Rolling onto my side, I vigorously rub both of my eyes with my hands. Once I'm sure a majority of the dirt in my eyes has been removed and the pain subsides, I open my eyes once more. Everything is still in tunnel vision as I look around. I don't recognize where I am, Wasn't I just in the main reception hall of that one building? I'm not even in the basement anymore. Hello? My voice echoes around the room, startling me. Looks like an empty lab room of some sort. Struggling to get on my feet, overwhelming dizziness washes over me. Oh no! I drop my knees and vomit onto the ground in front of me. Nothing but water comes up, but it feels like my stomach is trying to throw up actual food. It hurts so much. I absolutely hate the feeling of throwing up. Ugh. After a few moments, my vision and hearing clears slightly. I shake my head a few times to try and get my wits about me again, but the dizziness still remains. Kind of feels like I'm moving through sand. After another few minutes, I start to feel my body get lighter, and I try to get back onto my feet. Something metallic sticks into my chest. I reach into my shirt to check it and discover the basement key. Huh. I still have it. Wait! Examining those words out loud, I reach into the side of my pants and feel the box cutter still there. Yes! Practically yelling out, I cover my mouth with my hands for a second and listen for anyone to approach. Nothing. Grabbing the box cutter and holding it tightly in my hands, I walk towards the windows on the far side of the room. Looking outside, there are a bunch of trees that I recognize as part of the forest at the edge of town. But as for where specifically I am, my mind isn't fully clear, so I can't think too much about it. Resting my head against the window, it begins to fog up. I need to find a way out of here. If I can get down there, then I can try to find a police officer. And I really should be quick about it. I have no idea what those guys did to me, but I feel very weird still. Lifting my forehead off of the window, I try to shake it once more. But of course, the feeling doesn't dissipate. I might as well try to find a way out of here. Turning around, I start heading towards the door. Gripping the box cutter tightly in my hand, I reach with my free hand to open the door and walk into the hallway outside. The hallway is darker than usual, so it has to be a bit later into the night. Looking to my right, I see the stairway and start to run toward it. Where do you think you're going, Yuri? The man that first showed up in Diverse's house when I got kidnapped walks around the corner. He stands in the middle of the hallway, blocking me from getting any closer to the stairs. I asked you a question! Get away from me. Not gonna happen, sweetie. You see, I've heard that you have been escaping your confines lately. And one of my basement keys has gone missing too. I don't suppose you'd have any idea where it went, would you? No. My hands start to shake and the pit of my stomach convulses into a knot. I take a few steps backward to try and distance us. But to my despair, he takes a few steps towards me. You're starting to become quite the handful for me. Normally I just get rid of things that cause problems for me. And you've been nothing but problems. The only reason why I have let you live this long is because I needed leverage against Diverse. But now I don't think we need you anymore. No. Please, I just want to go home. It's kind of sad to see a girl like you suffer through this. You're actually really pretty, even when you had that terrified look on your face. Alas, I have to do what I have to do. I try to run by his right side, but he catches me and grasps my arm with his hands. Get off of me! Shut up and make this easier for me! He pulls on my arm, which causes me to fall into his arms. His arm wraps around my throat, and his other hand pushes against my back. I can't breathe. Just stop moving and breathe out. It'll be much easier and less painful. I'm gonna die here if I don't do something. Gripping my right hand, I realize I have to do something I don't want to do. I press the small black lever of the box cutter hidden in my fist and extend the blade. Using the rest of my energy, I slam both my fist and the box cutter against the man's leg. Gah! He lets go of me and grasps onto his leg. I drop onto my knees and gasp for air. Gah! What the hell?
You stabbed me! That's twice now! I still haven't healed fully since you fucking stabbed me in Diverse's house. The blood starts to trickle down his pants, staining them red. I grip the blade again in my hand and try to stand back up on my feet. I swear to God, you little bitch! I am going to wring your neck and watch you die. I'm done playing games. Just let me leave. I just want to go home with Diverse. Even if you do manage to leave, you won't be going home with him. And do you want to know why? My stomach sinks as I anticipate what he's about to say. Why? Because he's dead! You're lying. Diverse can't be dead. He foolishly landed to try and save you. He disregarded any logic and safety of his own when he charged into the unknown. We overwhelmed him, and I had the pleasure of putting a bullet in his head. My knees immediately strain to support my body. Nausea causes a vomit to start traveling up my throat. You look a little sick. What's the matter? Was me killing your boyfriend too much for you? Stop saying that! It can't be real. You have to be lying to me. Still don't believe me? Here. He reaches in his pocket, pulls out something metallic, and tosses it onto the ground. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's a small silver pocket knife I gave Diverse a while ago. It's covered with dried blood. The world around me starts to crumble and fall. Diverse is... he's... What? Are you gonna cry? Why would you do this to us? It all stems from the motivation and root of everything. Money, of course. I was paid to do this. I want to just collapse and give up. There's no reason for me to keep trying to survive anymore. But I know that Diverse would be disappointed in me if I let myself die here. He would want me to survive this and get out alive. I can try. For him. Steadying my breath, I raise the box cutter again and brandish it towards the man. You're still gonna fight after all this? You dumb bitch! Your boyfriend is dead and you're gonna get out of here. Just do yourself a favor and let me kill you. Shut up! I sprint towards him and start wildly slashing my box cutter into him. I lean onto my hands and knees and vomit again on the ground. My hands won't stop shaking as I stare at the bloody box cutter on the ground. I hurt someone. I didn't want to hurt anyone. The man gets back up off the ground from where he was lying. What? How are you still... He doesn't respond when he gets to his feet. He turns to look at me and starts to walk toward me again. No! I grab the box cutter and run towards the stairwell. Trying to get down the stairs as fast as I can and away from this monster, I pace my steps down. But all that seems to be for nothing because I end up tripping over my own feet and crashing to the ground. Ah! Ow! I'm trying to pick myself up off the ground, but there's almost no strength in my arms. Come on, Yuri! Get up! One after another, my arms comply and help me pick me up. Finally! I need to get to the door I saw in the main lobby. I need to get out of here. Dizziness starts to hit me really hard, like a very bad head rush. She's over here! Find that bitch and beat the hell out of her! Oh God! I try to clear my head again and keep going down the next flight of stairs. Stepping out of the stairwell and into another open area, I don't recognize where I am. Is this a new area?
No, it can't be. I swear I've been here before. Why is that I can't understand where I am right now? I start to panic and run down the center corridor. Everything around me grows fuzzy and I can hear my heartbeat louder than anything else. At the end of the corridor, I see a black figure appear out of nowhere and try to grab me. I caught her! Get off me, please! I caught her! Let go! I swing my box cutter at the figure to try and escape, but it disappears. Where did he go? Footsteps behind me alert me to someone trying to sneak up on me. Turning around, I brandish the box cutter towards the direction of the sound, but no one is there. What? I shake my head and keep continuing down the corridor. When I reach the end, there's yet another darkened hallway that calls out to me. Oh, great. Not another one of these. Ugh. I guess the darkness will at least conceal me from some people. They feel slightly more comfortable being there than out here. My hands still trembling, I start to enter the hallway. The dark hallway is oddly colder than the rest of the building so far. Keeping my arms close to me, I try to steel my resolve. Maybe a little easier for me to stay hidden, but it's still nerve-wracking. Come on, Yuri. You can do this, step by step. Trying to encourage myself to keep going, I ignore the feel that weighs my legs and keep walking. My mind starts to feel fuzzy again. Oh, I'm gonna lean on the wall for a second to try and rest. I rub the temples and only now realize that I'm hearing something. Why is she even in the club? Wait a minute. That's Monica's voice! But why seriously? She barely participates, and when we try to do group events, she has some weird breakdown. Huh?
Exactly, Monica. She attacks my writing because she doesn't like it. But hers isn't even that good, and she prances around like she's the queen of all literature or something.
Natsuki?
Come on, guys. Yuri isn't that bad. She is annoying at times, but she's still a member of the club.
Not you too, Sayori. Girls, I never meant it to be this way.
Hey, think she will, cut herself again? Probably, but who cares?
Why would you say that? I look around in the darkness for the girls. Oh, look. It's her.
Hi, Yuri. Ugh.
Why are you being so mean? I never meant it for it to be this way.
No one likes you, Yuri. Seriously, stop trying to get with Diverse because you think you're all smart and have a more matured body than us. You're not anything he's gonna ever want, and you're not anything we want around here either. I think we should go.
What do you mean? Their voices fade away very shortly after. My knees weaken, and I almost buckle over onto the ground. Holding one arm out against the wall, I keep myself from falling. I sniff as my tears start to pour over my cheeks. Yuri! How many times have I told you to stop being a weirdo? This is why your mother hates being around you. Father? You do weird things and you get weird outcomes. Look at where you are now. Dad, I can explain. No one likes you. Why do you still keep yourself around? All you do is make things worse for everyone. Stop! Look at yourself. You're dirty, bloody, drugged, hurt, and alone. And let's not forget, Diverse is dead because of you. Stop it! I grab onto my head and pull on my hair, screaming into the darkness. Do you remember how easy it was when you just accepted the truth? You never cared about anyone. You just focused on yourself. You didn't need anyone else. Everything was perfect, until you decided to ruin all by joining the literature club. And what do you know? You made them all hate you too. I said stop it! I tried to take a step forward, but buckle and crash against the floor. Please, just leave me alone! I can't handle this. I know I'm a stain on the world. I know I'm a failure. I know I'm hated. I thought that maybe things would change when I joined the literature club. I thought that things could be better when I met Diverse. But I ruined it all. Again. Yuri, I hear you. Come out wherever you are. A voice calls out from the way I came. The footsteps echo loudly across the walls. Damn it! I need to get going! I climb back to my feet and quickly walk down the hallway. Keeping my box cutter close and my free hand outstretched to detect anything in front of me, I quicken my pace. The footsteps disappear and I can feel someone to my left. Someone grabs hold of my outstretched hand and starts to yank on it. I grunt as I slash at the person with my box cutter. But before I could finish my swing, the person vanishes. Without hesitating for another second, I keep moving down the hallway until I come to a turn. I pick up my pace a little more as I rush through the dark corridor. At the end of the hallway is another center corridor that leads to a stairwell. A man stands next to one of the windows on the right of the stairwell, looks down at his phone. I recognize him from earlier. He was one of the guys who held me down on the desk. He turns his head and jumps as he notices me. Hey, what the hell are you doing out here? He starts to charge toward me. Stay back! I hold up the box cutter knife, trying to show him that I will attack, but he keeps coming. Get over here! I back up against the wall behind me, and when the man is within an arm's length of me, I swing the box cutter at him. I barely make contact with his chest, but I feel the resistance as the blade tears through the surface of his skin. Ugh! He recoils but catches my hand as I swing again. I see a blur coming towards my face before. God damn it! That fucking stings! He still holds my hand, but I can't hold myself up anymore and begins sliding down the wall. He ends up holding me up by my arm, and the rest of me dangles towards the ground in a daze. He shoves his fist right into the center of my gut, knocking the wind out of me and almost making me vomit right then and there. I drop the box cutter on the ground and gasp for air. This wouldn't have happened if you weren't such a crazy knife-wielding bitch. God. Trying desperately to catch my breath, I look down on the floor and determine what I'm gonna do. I quickly reach down and grab the box cutter as he readies another blow to my stomach. As soon as I have a good enough grip, I throw the box cutter upward, piercing directly into his stomach. He lets go of my hand and drops me to the ground. As he stumbles backward, I stumble to crawl out of the corner I back myself into. When I reach the window, I push him to the side and dash towards the stairs. Come on, I can make it. I swear I saw 2 more people on either side of me in the halls before the stairs. But I didn't pay them too much mind. Finally, getting to what I think is the bottom floor, I anchor to the side and run to the door. Using both of my hands, I pull on the handles as hard as I can. The doors don't budge, but I keep trying over and over again. All of a sudden, I hear someone behind me. I turn my head and notice another man coming directly towards me. Yuri, what are you doing here? These people just won't leave me alone. Overwhelming anger boils my blood and makes me grip my box cutter tighter than before. Turning my side, I start to slash the box cutter at him over and over again. He steps to the side and dodges each of my swings. Are you crazy? He shouts as he continuously backs up and away from my assault. I'm not gonna let this guy stop me from getting out of here. I fight through the exhaustion my lungs carry and keep slashing at him. He backs up into something which must have caught him off guard because he leaves his stomach open. Grunting loudly, I shove my box cutter directly into his stomach. I twist it from side to side before finally pulling away. Blood drips off the box cutter and from his stomach. Oh! He's alive. I kind of figured, honestly. Alright, I haven't read comments. Oh, thanks, guys! Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone. I'm glad that you guys think that my voice acting is good. Because I don't really think so sometimes, but thank you. Thank you guys so much. Yuri. All of a sudden, my head clears and what I see in front of me freezes my blood. Diverse?! Oh my god. This entire time I thought he was someone else. Why didn't I see who he was before? I can barely find myself able to move. I'm frozen. You're alive?! Why the hell wouldn't I be? He looks up at me, wincing from the wound I just inflicted onto him. They told me you died! He doesn't respond and only coughs. Finally snapping out of the frozen daze I was in, I rush over to him and kneel beside him. Oh my god, are you okay? I'm right as rain right now. I'm so sorry! My trembling hands reach up to my face in an effort to cover and shield my tears. What even happened? I don't know. I didn't see that it was you. I saw you as someone else. One of the people here who caused all this. Wait a second. Let me see your eyes. What? I said, let me see your eyes! He raises his voice a little, which scares me into doing it. Wincing, he leads towards me and looks me directly into the eyes. What has happened to you? Well, to be honest, I have no idea. I mean, I remember them forcibly injecting me with something. Injecting? You mean like a syringe? Diverse's breath shortens. Yeah, and ever since that I have felt weird and I feel like I'm hearing and seeing things. That would make some sense. You acted like I was a monster or something. Are you okay? You're having some trouble breathing. Well, I have a pretty nasty gash in my stomach, so I think that's probably a reason why. Again, I'm so sorry. It's... honestly, it's fine. I could tell you weren't fully there. Another glance down at Diverse's stomach shows me the profuse amount of blood he's losing. Sends me into a panic almost immediately. What do we do?! Earlier? Using the back of my hand, I wipe the blood from my bottom lip. I'm out of breath and I'm running out of energy rapidly. I managed to fend off my attackers long enough to get away, but not unscathed. The sharp pain in my left side is most likely an indicator of a broken rib. And a warm, dull pain shoots up my right leg. It's most likely sprained. Damn it, I was hoping to get away a lot sooner, but they just kept getting up. Leaning my back against the wall, I run my hand through my hair while exhaling deeply. I need to find Yuri and get out of this hellhole. Situations like this aren't too stressful or difficult for me to manage on my own, but since Yuri is involved, I have to work for two, basically. I can't just worry about myself and escape. Which is why I can't give up. I have to keep going. Each inhale I take stings because of my broken rib, so I try my best to keep my breath gentle. Centering my stance and mentally preparing myself, I start down the dark hallway once more. I hear yelling from several people around the building, no doubt looking for me. Keeping quiet, I skulk through the hallway until I reach a bend. The bend veers off to my left and leads to a small door at the end. Opening the door reveals me to a small and skinny stairwell that leads up into the building. Probably faculty stairs? Either way, they're going to get me out of the immediate area of my pursuers. Starting up the stairs, I hear a scream off in the distance, but not in a specific direction to where I can pinpoint it. It sounds like Yuri! Dashing up the stairs to the next floor, a stretch leads me across the back hall of the building. Simple, Yuri, run to the hospital. In this scene, I think this is what was happening earlier. Dashing up the stairs to the next floor, a stretch leads me across the back hall of the building. Ignoring my leg, which is screaming at me to stop running, I continue to run down the hall. Reaching one of the upper levels hallways, I turn and notice someone standing in front of me.
Hello, Diverse.
Well, long time no see.
Are you liking your stay here?
Well, you know, maybe a kink here or there I'll probably go on my review, but other than that, sure.
Enough of your witty talk. You're becoming more of a thorn in my side than I anticipated.
You brought me here. What did you expect?
I expected you to die quickly.
You were wrong. I'm not going to be dying here, but I can't say the same for you.
Alas, but you're a little too late for your dear friend.
What?
She kept fighting against us. We had no choice but to put her down like a dog. She was behaving too belligerently, and she was a danger.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small metallic pocket knife. It's one that Yuri gave me shortly after the festival. It's covered in blood, which makes my stomach drop as soon as I notice it.
You see this?
This right here? He waves it towards me with the flick of his wrist.
Is what killed your precious Yuri.
So you have my pocket knife and managed to cut yourself on it.
Big deal. That isn't proof that Yuri is dead.
At this point, I'm testing a popular internal practice at my job. People's eyes tell me when they're lying. They behave a specific way without consciously knowing. And he exhibits some of these behaviors.
You're just stalling now. Your tricks won't work on me. I know too much about you.
Interesting. You do seem to know more than the average Joe. Would you be so kind as to explain how?
I have my ways. If you find someone that interests you, you do research on them. Whether or not the research is extensive is something you determine. At first, when I was paid, I didn't give two shits about who and what you were. But after a while, I found an interest. And I kept learning more and more about you.
I decide to humor him while he goes on his tangent. So far, I let him think that he has me cornered. But no matter how much information he has on me, very little of it is actually about who I am and what I do. Not even the most talented private investigator would be able to uncover my organization. Origination. Excuse me. Not even the most talented private investigator would be able to uncover my origination. And that is part of the lore, per se, around me.
Now, what I am really curious about is why you're here.
I think it was evident. I'm here to get Yuri back.
Okay, Captain Obvious. I'm talking about coming to this town.
It's major. He scoffs and rubs his temples. I'm here to go to school. Nothing more.
What about your old school, huh?
It wasn't a general education school.
Well, that's very obvious. Because look at you. You've done things that no other boy your age could do. But why would you come here of all places to go to school?
He raises his voice and chuckles as he finished the sentence.
And joined a literature club with only girls, no less.
And?
Do you not see the correlation here?
Humor me with it.
You, a new mysterious boy who has an insane physique and logical intelligence, just pops up. Teenage girls are more inclined to gravitate towards you because they see you as a perfect individual. You're basically taking advantage of those poor girls.
Excuse me? I'm taking advantage of the girls?
I've done nothing but do my best for them. To try and make them happy. To become their friend. And where did that get you? That's right. 2 of their friends are missing. One is dead and the other is about to be. They're worried sick, and none of this would have happened if you hadn't showed up. This was all your fault. This was all your fault. You did this. His words hit me directly inside. Normally, I would be extremely upset at hearing someone antagonize me like this. But he's right. None of this would have happened if I never joined the literature club. None of this would have happened if I never came to this town in search of something that I will never have. A normal life. Damn it! My will to fight immediately weakens and I drop to my knees. What is this? Are you giving up already? Damn, I was wanting to badger you a bit more. I lower my head to the ground and stare at the floor. The man walks towards me, unfolding the pocket knife in his hand. I guess the surefire way to break your defense is to attack what you care for. But this time, I wasn't the one to do that. You did all of this yourself. He stops directly in front of me and I can feel the tip of the blade tap on my scalp. It's a shame all this had to happen. Yuri didn't deserve to suffer for your existence. He raises the blade off of my scalp, prompting me with a window to strike. Balling my left hand into a fist, I throw my arm upward and impact directly into his groin. Whoa! Out of bodily instinct, he bends over, allowing me extra time to wrap my arm around his wrist and secure the blade. Next, I stand up while wrapping my other free hand around his neck. Forcing myself to push through the pain in my leg and rib cage, I throw both myself and the man forward. My momentum allows me to slam him into the hard, marbled flooring. Standing over him, I wait for a response. He remains motionless and still, confirming he has lost consciousness. She may not deserve it, but you do. I'm not going to let her down. I may have caused all this, and I will have to face my consequences afterward, but right now I need to get Yuri to safety. And I swear to God, I will not let anyone stop me. Looking around to see if anyone else is here, I clear the room and head towards the stairwell. Each step downward sends shooting pain up my leg and into my back. When I reach the midway of the level, I take a second to steady my breathing. Damn, I forgot how much a broken ribcage stings. During training, I ended up breaking one because I was sparring with someone much larger than I. My instructor decided it was a great idea. But then again, he always told us that if we can't work against a greater opponent, we won't get anywhere in the field. As much as I hated him, he was right. Alright, I can keep going now. I start down the steps again, but hear several people talking around the corner. Inching as close as I can to the edge without exposing myself, I eavesdrop on their conversation. I'm not really sure what to think about that. It's not like it matters. They have an offensive lineman that could get through anything. Whatever, just wait until I win the bet. I'm gonna need that $50. Yeah, anyway, have you heard anything from the boss about the two kids? Nope, I think he's still deciding what to do. Why don't we just kill him? That's what I said, but no! The boss wants them alive for some reason. It pisses me off. For real. It's whatever, though. As long as we get paid, I don't care what we do. I guess. Come on, I need a cigarette. Both of the conversing men continue down the stairwell away from me. Interesting. So they aren't trying to kill Yuri and me just yet. But the two men from the forest directly tried to kill me, so there has to be some degree of disorder in the group's leadership. Whoever's behind this has some ulterior motive for keeping us alive. But I'll be damned if I'm going to hang around long enough to find out. Once their voices fade enough to render them a good distance away from me, I turn the small corner and head down the stairs too. I contemplate my next moves to distract from the pain. I'm going to need to find my handgun. Or any firearm, actually. I'm not reliable enough right now to get into another close quarters brawl. Stepping out onto the bottom floor, I turn my left and head towards the lounge from earlier. I'm really hoping no one is in there. Because I have a hunch that is where my handgun is. Sneaking to the door, I place my ear against it and listen.
Nothing. Perfect. I try the knob, and luckily it opens. Idiots. I slide into the crack of the door and quietly close it behind me. The couch is, of course, empty, so they've taken care of their buddy. TV is off, some glasses of various drinks are scattered about, and a half-eaten cheese pizza still in the box lies on a table. Along one of the walls are a string of cabinets and shelves. Not hesitating for even a second, I start to search through each of them. Magazines, recipe book, spares plastic forks and spoons, various cords and chargers, dog collar, pens and pencils. Ugh. Just as I give up on searching through the various cupboards and drawers, I notice a small shelf near the door that is perfectly hidden when you come in. And what I see on top of it genuinely makes me smile. I grab hold of my handgun and slide the magazine out. No change in munitions, and it's still chambered. But my other magazines aren't with it. It's a little disheartening, but nevertheless, I now have a much better chance against my enemies. Before I go, I walk over to a small sided room where the kitchenette and turn on the faucet. Using my hands as a cup, I fill them with water and drink it. After I've had a good amount of water to help rehydrate myself, I splash some on my face. Cooling water feels nice. I take this opportunity to let myself breathe freely for a moment. When you're in a constantly stressful situation, you forget that your breathing can be consistently labored. So moments where you can actually breathe really help clear the mind and calm the nerves. Splash water in my face one last time before taking another drink. Drying my hands off on my pants, I turn around and hold my handgun tightly in my grip. I walk toward the door, but stop when I hear something down the hall. It sounds like someone is running down the stairs. Cracking the door open slightly, I peek down the hallway just as a purple blur turns the corner towards the front door. Wait a second. Was that Yuri? Ugh! Yuri's grunt prompts me to immediately leave the room and rush down the hall towards the door. When I turn the corner, Yuri's trying to open the main doors. Yuri, what are you doing here? She turns around and has a burning look in her eyes. She brandishes the bloody box cutter in my direction and barely gives any articulation before violently swinging at me. What the hell? I dodge to my left and right, just narrowly evading the blood of the box cutter. Are you crazy? Damn it, I have to find some way to disarm her. I can't move backward anymore. Something's blocking me. Behind me is the overturned desk from earlier. Damn it! That thing is gonna... Yuri thrusts the blade of her weapon into my abdomen. She twists the blade a few times from left to right before finally pulling the blade out. Unable to hold myself up anymore, I collapse against the wall and slide down it. Blood starts to expel from my abdomen, and I place one of my hands over the wound to stop the bleeding. Yuri... Diverse?! She immediately recoils away from me and looks at the box cutter. You're alive?! Why the hell wouldn't I be? I look up into Yuri's shocked face. Why the hell does she look so surprised? You just tried to kill me! They told me that you died. I fight back the urge to cough, but fail. Oh my god, are you okay? I'm right as rain right now. I continue to press against my stomach and apply pressure. I'm so sorry! Yuri reaches up and places her hand in her heads, avoiding eye contact with me. What even happened? I don't know. I didn't see that it was you. I saw you as someone else, one of the people here who caused all this. She didn't see me as me? What kind of sense does that make? Ha! I cut myself off when Yuri makes eye contact with me again. Her eyes look strange. Wait a second. Let me see your eyes. What? I said, let me see your eyes! I raise my voice slightly because of the pain, but I do my best not to raise it too much. What has happened to you? She reluctantly leans toward me. Her pupils are dilated hardcore. To be honest, I have no idea. I mean, I remember them forcibly injecting me with something.
Injecting? You mean like a syringe? I catch myself about to cough again and hold my breath to keep myself from doing so. Once the tickle in my throat dissipates, the pain and the bleeding start to make it hard to catch my breath.
Yeah, and ever since I have felt weird and I felt like I'm hearing and seeing things.
That would make some sense. You acted like I was a monster or something.
Are you okay? You're having some trouble breathing.
Well, I have a pretty nasty gash in my stomach, so I think that's probably a reason why.
Again, I'm so sorry.
It's... honestly... it's fine. I could tell you weren't fully there. Yuri looks around and stops in my stomach just as a bead of blood trails between my fingers. The sight makes her gasp and nearly panic.
What do we do?
Well, I need to stop the bleeding before I kneel over.
How can we do that?
Looking down, I lift up my shirt to expose the wound. It doesn't look too deep, but nevertheless, I'm still bleeding at a concerning rate. And how long this will take to stop bleeding is going to be extremely detrimental to our survival and escape. As soon as Yuri sees the wound, her face turns white. Listen, there is a small lounge just down the hall to our right. Saw a first aid kit in there earlier on the southern side of the room, near the bookshelf. Run in there and grab it so we can put something on this. I point in the direction of the lounge and Yuri nods silently. She gets up and starts to run. As soon as she's out of my sight, I heave a huge sigh to try and alleviate some of the pain. And oh my god, it hurts like a son of a bitch. I breathe in and out deeply to help stabilize my heart rate. An irregular and overworked heart rate can increase the amount of blood flow throughout your body. And that is the opposite of what you want when you're bleeding. You want to mitigate the amount of blood that leaks out as much as possible, and lowering how fast your blood pumps through your veins is a must. So until Yuri returns, I'm going to try and focus my breathing. Yuri returns a few minutes later with the first aid kit in her hands.
I'm sorry I took so long.
You're fine, Yuri. She hesitantly opens the red and white plastic case and searches through it. Find some gauze, the thickest that is there.
Right. Oh, this kit also has a small bottle of rubbing alcohol.
What percentage?
What do you mean?
It's isopropyl alcohol, right? There should be a percentage listed somewhere there.
70%.
Perfect. 70% isopropyl alcohol, often known as simple rubbing alcohol, is a very effective disinfectant and antiseptic. However, any higher of a percentage would not disinfect as well as 70%, I believe it or not. And of course, any lower of a percentage would be as ineffective as the former. 70% has a good balance of water and alcohol to denature the proteins of bacterial cells, killing them much quicker and more effectively than the other types. If you have too much water, it'll take longer to disinfect and won't be as potent. If you have too little water, the alcohol won't be able to destroy microorganisms as effectively due to the high evaporation rate and less contact time with the affected area. Yuri, I'm gonna pour this on my wound. Do you have the gauze ready?
Yes.
Press the gauze onto it and push to keep pressure on it when I say, alright?
Right.
She hands me a bottle of alcohol and I uncap it. Breaking the plastic seal on the bottle with my finger, I mentally prepare myself for what is next. Exposing the full wound, I start pouring the alcohol on it. Jesus Christ! I see only red for a few moments as the intense stinging shoots through my entire body. Fighting against my body, which desperately pleads to stop the pain, I keep a steady stream of alcohol contact. The blood starts to drip down my sides with the alcohol. After a few more seconds, I start pouring and practically drop the bottle onto the ground. Yuri fidgets and tries to keep her composure. I can tell she isn't too comfortable with how much blood is involved. The pain finally decides to give me a sweet break and dies down. Making eye contact again with Yuri, I nod for her to apply the gauze. The sudden sting of the gauze pressing against my open wound makes me jump a little, but I manage to gain control over it again immediately.
Diverse? I'm not putting you through too much pain with this, right? I can stop if you want me to.
No.
You're fine. This was bound to be the opposite of fun anyway. Grunting as I finished the last words of that sentence, I placed my hands on the gauze and let Yuri take away hers. How long until the bleeding stops? Hard to tell. It's all circumstantial. But if I had to guess, 10 minutes. 10 minutes?! The gauze is going to keep me from bleeding out. And with the amount of alcohol I poured onto it, the immediate risk of infection is not concerning. My body's going to try and clot the wound to prevent further bleeding, and while it does, I shouldn't move. I see. I grunt again and lean back against the wall. Hand me one of the elastic bandages in the kit. I'm going to dress my abdomen so the gauze can stay in place. I'll do that for you. It's the least I can do right now to help. She cuts herself off and gives a disappointed look off to the side. In response, I lift up my shirt more and lean away from the wall. Yuri grabs a rather large roll of bandage and gingerly wraps it around my stomach. Put more tensions on the bandage. It's a little loose. Right. Yuri tightens the bandage to an acceptable degree of comfort and security. Afterward, she quickly brings her hands back to her sides and looks away. I bring my short down and cover the bandage. Thank you, Yuri. It's no problem. It's good to see you again. You don't know how happy I am to hear that. It's really good to see you too. It's been very stressful, but seeing you makes me feel a lot better. Yuri gently places her hand against her heart. Can't say I don't feel the same. How did you get here? I was ambushed in the forest. I managed to take one of them down, but the other ran. So I followed him and realized he was purposely leading me somewhere. And I played along with his little game. I knew that he was planning another ambush against me, so I let it happen. I knew that if he overwhelmed me, they would capture me and bring me here. And when I saw the same man a little earlier, he basically confirmed what my theories were. Did you tell them anything they wanted to know? Only a little. But this isn't the first time someone has tried to force information out of me. There are ways to kind of see it coming, and ways you can manipulate the circumstance. But I wasn't going to try and risk endangering your life any further. What did they want to know? I was afraid she was going to ask that. This isn't really something I can tell her either, but Yuri deserves to know the reason she was involved in this bullshit. There's a lot I need to tell you. Yuri sits down next to me and leans against the wall, giving me a curious but concerned look. Sighing in preparation, I look at her and start to explain. I tell her everything I told Monica back at the club when this all started. So, you went to a boarding school? In essence, yes. And even before that, I had made a lot of enemies. My father brought many people around and cohorted with them on a multitude of activities. And with that, my father pissed a lot of people off. And as ironic as it sounds, sometimes when you have to get to someone, you go after someone close to them. I see. Why'd that one guy keep mentioning that he wanted you to reveal who you truly are? Yuri makes goofy quotes with her fingers, prompting a slight chuckle from me. There's a lot of people don't know about me. A lot that I don't like about myself and want to change. It's part of the reason I came here. I just wanted to go to a normal school and live a normal life. Free from the chaos and turmoil of my norm. And it just seems like at times, the more I run, the faster everything catches up to me. I just continually make things worse. Even though the actions I take, I can never fully trust that they are the right thing to do. Take this, for example. I am the reason you were involved with this. They used you to get to me, which I don't think I can ever forgive myself for. And I've had to make decisions that I don't really trust would end up well. I take a second and look away from Yuri, giving myself some space to think. You sound a lot like me, Diverse. Huh? Yuri looks down to the floor and softens her voice. I always think I make things worse. In fact, I'm pretty sure I do. If I hadn't gotten so close to you, you wouldn't be in this situation. These people wouldn't have extorted you just so you could rescue me. And because of that, you put yourself in a lot of danger just to come and save me. Someone like me doesn't deserve that. Yuri looks away from me while rubbing her eyes. You're right. You don't deserve any of this. Yuri, you're a sweet girl who isn't hard to make happy. You're most happy with things like books, which you can immerse yourself in others in. I can easily tell that when you explain a poem or story to me. You're passionate about those fictional worlds, and that is where you find your comfort. It's because I can't find comfort anywhere else. Everything or do I say, I hesitate. Those hesitations are because I'm scared of making things worse. Like, maybe I'll say something and it just doesn't sound right and makes everything awkward or complicated. It always happened with my family. That's nothing compared to me. I say some pretty weird shit, Yuri. Yuri chuckles silently. I didn't mean to laugh at that, I'm sorry. Don't be. It was meant to cheer you up. Still pressing on my stomach with my left hand, I reach my right around her shoulders and embrace her. Yuri timidly wraps one of her arms around my shoulders and hugs back. I can see a small twinge of flustered embarrassment in her eyes, paired with a small coy smile. But the moment doesn't last long before I realize where we were. We're still in the main lobby area. I'm completely defenseless and left open for any one of our captors to take the kill. Yuri, we need to get out of this lobby. We're too exposed. Good idea. Do you know a good place where we can rest for a bit? What about the basement I was kept in? Where is it? Just down the hall a little here. Yuri points to her right, at the single door, towards the right-hand hall. No. It's too easy for someone to hide out for the door for us. If we need to get out quickly and easily, we'll need a secondary exit. Right. Yuri looks down toward the floor and visibly ponders to herself. What about one of the classrooms on this floor? I was in one earlier and it was completely empty. Maybe we can find an unlocked room and rest in there? We should find one that is away from the main lobby here, so it's less traveled. Right, I'll look around. Yuri lifts herself up and looks back down at me. Are you sure you're gonna be okay alone for a few minutes? Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm fine. She smiles hesitantly. It's obviously I'm saying this just to make her feel better. But she accepts it and starts to walk down the hallway to our right, leaving me alone in the lobby. I take the opportunity to exhale deeply and release some of the pain I've been feeling. Yuri's already struggling enough to stay as brave as she's been. Can't really let her see that I am in constant pain or stress myself. But she's been extremely brave so far. It both surprises and amazes me. For a girl like Yuri who's extremely shy, timid, and scared of confrontation, to muster up the strength to try and escape from dangerous and unsettling odds. That's my type of girl. Chuckling to myself, I remove my hand from my stomach and alleviate the pressure on it. The pain lessens, but ultimately doesn't go away. Scooting my back up against the wall more, the pain burns inside and causes me to grunt loudly. Yuri comes back a few seconds later, eyes shining a glimmer of hope. I found an open and empty room we can try. Perfect. Would you mind helping me up? Not at all. She walks over and grasps onto my right forearm. I position my left leg in a way that will help push me from the ground while my right supports my weight. Ready? Yeah. I push off of the ground while Yuri pulls me up. The pain from the sudden movements send a searing pain through my abdomen. My body instinctively bends over, almost toppling me and Yuri. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I got it. I catch myself before I lose my footing and stabilize both of us. Sorry. No, don't apologize. It's not really your fault. Let's just get to the room quickly. Yuri wraps my right arm around her shoulders and tries to use her weight to keep me supported. I keep my left hand pressed tightly against my stomach, pressing through the pain in my ribcage and leg. Are you okay? I'm a little more than fucked up right now. Pretty sure I have a rib or two broken, along with a sprained leg. I'm sorry to hear that. Yuri slurs her words towards the end of that sentence, which stirs up some concern within me. We shuffle through the hallway and reach the door. Yuri reaches to open the door and we both step in. But Yuri seems out of breath suddenly, and looking down at her knees, I can see them visibly shake. Yuri, I think I got it from here. Are you sure? Yeah, you should sit down and rest. How's your stomach feeling? I'll be okay, I just need to rest for a bit. Yuri's words begin to slur again, and I finally realize what's going on. Whatever they drugged her with is starting to affect her again. Sudden shock of what she did to me earlier must have snapped her out of it. Good. I sit down and lean back against one of the walls near the doors, so if anyone looks in, they won't be able to see me. Yuri drops to her knees and starts to feverishly looking around. They're coming back! Immediate desperation and fear emanate from her soft voice. Yuri, I need you to stay with me right now. Look at me. What? Look at me. Right here in front of you. Can you hear me, Yuri? Yeah, I can hear you. Why is everyone saying these things to me? Yuri's reacting to what I think are mental hallucinations. Whatever this drug is doing to her, it's amplifying her subconscious emotions. And, well, with Yuri that is pretty concerning. It probably was a factor in her nearly gutting me earlier. I reach out and offer my hand to her. Yuri, take my hand. Yuri, I'm not gonna hurt you or say anything bad. I just want you to trust me. I do trust you. How can you trust me? I stabbed you. I just do. If I didn't, Yuri, I wouldn't have even come here to rescue you. Please, take my hand, sit down next to me, and rest your eyes. Okay. Yuri reaches out and grabs onto my hand, scooting herself next to me. Just rest your eyes for a bit. Is that really safe right now? It will be. I promise. With little hesitation, Yuri rests her head against my shoulder and closes her eyes. I wait a little bit until I'm fairly certain she's unconscious. The situation I'm in is so fucked. Even if I do manage to rest a bit and let my body recover from the stab, I still can't fight. I'm not even sure if I can make it out of this alive. But regardless, Yuri needs to. And I will see to that. But for now, I can't do anything in this condition, and I have no painkillers to help me through this, so... I guess I need to just endure whatever else comes our way. I'll do this the way I always have. Exhaustion overcoming me, I'll allow myself to slip into her short rest. Yuri's scream wakes me up. Regaining consciousness, I look around the room and notice the same man from earlier who said Yuri was dead standing over her. He holds the silver pocket knife in his hand and tries to plunge it into Yuri, but she seems to be holding him at bay. Yuri. I can't talk, I'm too weak. Son of a bitch! Reaching my hand out in desperation, I'm forced to take in the sight. Yuri tries to keep the knife away from her, but the man puts his weight onto his upper body and the knife starts to come down slowly. Yuri's panicked face sends a shock of tenacious fury through me. Staying as quiet as I can, I force my body to stand up, ignoring every surge of pain and discomfort that attempts to bind me to the ground. Once on my feet, I lurch over and prepare my assault. Taking a deep breath in, I sprint towards him. He turns his head and looks at me, eyes widening as soon as I crash into him. Diverse!
What the hell? How are you still alive?
I could say the same about you. You look just as fucked up as I.
Your whacked out girlfriend cut the shit out of me.
I managed to crawl on top of him and reach for his throat. But he slams his fist against my face and kicks me in the stomach, launching me off of him. The pain from being kicked into my adamant nearly sends me into a nauseated shock.
You just don't die, do you? You fight off all of us, exhausting and injuring yourself in the process. You get stabbed by that bitch over there and nearly bleed to death, and you come back from an almost comatose state just to keep fighting.
He returns to his feet and walks over to me. Yuri, out of the corner of my eye, starts crawling backward away from us. Unable to comprehend what is going on around me due to the intense pain and shock, I feel an impact against my stomach.
Eh? Does that hurt? That's right, it does! Now you understand how it feels to have pain inflicted on you. From what I've heard about you, you only know how to be the one bringing the pain. And now that the roles are reversed, how does it feel? Huh? Ah! That's what I thought. Now excuse me as I finish off your problem off a companion. He steps out of my vision and starts toward Yuri. Please, stay away from me! Shut up! You're done. I'm sick of you and the problems you cause. You and that demon over there. This should have all been very simple and easy. But you just had to fight back. What did you expect? We aren't just gonna sit down and let you kill us. Forcing myself to roll over, I face both Yuri and the man. Well, that's too bad. Now you get to watch me do what I have wanted to do ever since all of this started. Yuri crawls backward as far as she can until she corners herself, the man approaching ever so menacingly. No. I watch in complete shock as he picks up the pocket knife again and points it to Yuri, who holds her hands out to block. Because of me, Yuri's gonna die. He's gonna force me to watch this. Why did I have to get involved in her life? Why did I have to even come here and ruin everything for the girls? It's because you're worthless and you're scum. You failed to be what I wanted you to be. And you'll always be a failure. You don't even have that bitch to hide behind anymore. I can't let it end like this. I will prove him wrong. I will prove them all wrong. Ignoring everything but my burning desire to destroy my enemy, I force myself back up. I grab hold of my handgun and remove it from the small of my back. Not hesitating anymore, I run up to him as fast as my body can possibly take me. As he turns around to look at me, I slam the butt of my handgun against his head. He stumbles and falls onto the ground. Making sure to be quick, I aim my firearm at both of his knees and fire. God damn it! If you want to put someone through pain, someone who knows how to endure pain, then you better be ready to receive it too. I throw the gun back to my right and reach down to pick up the man. Forcefully turning him onto his stomach, I grab the middle of his back and the back of his hair and lift him up. He grunts and whispers from both of his destroyed knees, distract him from what I plan on doing. Mustering up enough strength, I slam him against the wall, making sure his forehead takes the brunt of the blow. Next, I kick the back of his knees and bring him down onto them. A sick, mushy sound emanates from where his kneecaps used to be. Stop! Still gripping onto the back of his head, I slam him face against the wall again. Stop! Get off me! When I let go of his head, his body flops over to the side, revealing the caved-in portion of his forehead. Blood and small chunks of skull fragments spill onto the floor. Yuri stands up and places her hand on my shoulder. The pain begins to subside. Are you okay? Finish him! Fatality! Are you okay? I'm fine. What about you? Are you okay? I turn and face Yuri. She doesn't look to have any signs of injury, but I ask just to make sure. Yeah, he didn't hurt me. Good. I lean forward and grip onto my stomach. The warm feeling returns when I realize that my stomach is probably in worse condition now than it was before. I start coughing into my free hand spontaneously. Oh god, Diverse! Yuri looks down at my hand after I pull it away from my mouth. Small drops of blood sit on my hand.
The pain in my ribcage has definitely skyrocketed, which would mean one of my lungs is punctured slightly. The more I cough, the more I risk the puncture getting larger and more severe. We need to get out of here, now. Those gunshots most likely altered everyone in and around the building. What do we do? I retrieve my gun from the ground and hold it tightly in my right hand. I set up a place where we can safely get out. Unless it's been tampered with, we should be able to get out through there easily. The front door is locked and we don't have the keys to get out. Breaking it would make too much noise. I don't really think we would need to worry about making noise now. Alright, smartass, let's go. I walk up to the door of the room and place my ear against it to listen for anyone or anything outside. Nothing. This is our opportunity to move. I quietly and gently open the door, and with Yuri directly behind me, start to head out to the dark hallway I woke up in earlier. Once we enter the hallway, several pairs of footsteps start trailing us, stopping short before the hallway. Yuri, get behind cover. I whisper just loudly for Yuri to hear me. She crouches behind a small table, or side table with what seems to be a toolbox on it, and I stand parallel to a ladder behind, placed just perfectly enough for me to be hidden. Where are they? I'm not sure, but find and kill them! A flashlight shines down the hall, narrowly missing both Yuri and I. I think I heard something upstairs. Go check it out. The flashlight points down to the ground and leaves. From across the hall, Yuri looks at me, waiting for orders. I nod to the left, signaling her to keep going. After Yuri disappears from the hallway, I follow suit. Once we reach the familiar turn that I recall, something feels different. Something feels off. Yuri keeps going ahead of me, but... Yuri, wait! Huh? She stops and looks back. Lights turn on from a huge floodlight placed in the corner of the hall. Found them! Son of a bitch! From the hall, several armed men start charging towards us. Yuri, get to the window at the end of the hallway! Break it with the felt I left next to it so we don't get hurt. I'm gonna buy you time to do that. Yuri looks back and pleads with me to come with her. But I throw my hand down the hall to gesture her to go. You need to go! Don't worry about me, I'll meet you outside. Get over here! Two men start to close the gap, sprinting extremely fast. As one gets closer to me, I reach down and grab a paint bucket by its handle. When he gets close enough to me, I swing the bucket and watch it slam into the side of his head, dropping him down to the ground instantly. You son of a bitch! The other charges directly towards me, holding something in his hands that I can't clearly see due to the blinding light. Fearing it to be a gun, I quickly shift to my left and get behind the bend of the wall, bringing our line of sight. When he returns to the corner, I see that he's indeed carrying a handgun. I wrap both of my hands around his forearm and push upward. He grunts and tries to wrestle his arms back down, but I manage to get in between the gap of his arm and chest. Taking a deep breath inward, at the peak of my inhale, I throw the entirety of my weight straight down, making sure to pivot my hip and angling my right shoulder so he flies over. Once his back hits the ground, I shove my fist into his Adam's apple. Several others are coming down the hall. Their footsteps and yelling voices give me more and more information on how close they are to me. I punch the man again in his throat, and he lets go of his gun, coughing. Reaching the small of my back, I grab my handgun and aim both guns down the hall at my incoming aggressors. I blind fire down the hallway to suppress their advance. The burning in my lungs and the stinging in both my leg and stomach are numbed at the moment because of the insane amounts of adrenaline my body is producing. However, my breathing is suffering because of all the activity I'm doing with all my injured body. What the hell's taking Yuri so long? The light illuminates the rest of the hallway we were going down enough that I can see her moving at the end of it. We need to get out of here right now! I take both handguns and blind fire down the hallway once more. Alright, time's up. We need to go. I turn and run down the hallway. Yuri stands at the window, pounding on it and trying to break it. What's the holdup? It won't break! Yuri, face me! She turns around and faces me as I get closer to her. But I don't slow down. When I make contact with her, I wrap my arms around her. Pivoting my hip and forcing Yuri to cover her face against my chest, I throw my back onto the window and send us flying through it. I land directly on my back, shielding Yuri from the broken glass and cushioning her fall. The force of my crash landing knocks the wind out of me, but I keep my arms wrapped around Yuri. An overwhelming urge to cough forces me to lurch my chest up. Rolling over onto my side, I push Yuri off of me and try to sit up. The jagged pieces of glass that stick out of my back don't make it too comfortable a place to lie down. And on top of that, we're still being chased and we need to get out of here immediately. Are you okay? Yeah, come on, we need to get out of here. Finally catching my breath, I stand up and offer my hand to Yuri. She reluctantly takes it as we both start running along the edge of the forest. Yuri runs alongside me, her eyes full of fear, and her breathing starting to become labored. We can keep going. We need to find a phone somewhere. Where do we find a phone? We need to get back into town and find a public place. That will be the safest for us. Yuri and I keep running along the edge of the forest until we find a long and narrow roadway that leads into town. I know exactly where we are now. This is the road that Julia takes whenever we head to her office. Both Yuri and I hunch over and lean onto our knees and breathe. We need to get to a phone so I can call the police and Julia. I couldn't find mine in the lounge where I find my gun, so I'm not even sure where it is. Locating it wasn't really a priority at the time, but we would have been useful right now. Yuri, are you ready to keep going? Yeah. You don't sound like it. Focus your breathing through your nose. If you keep inhaling through your mouth frantically, you're going to get a cramp in your stomach, and that means less oxygen to your blood. Okay. I grab Yuri's hand and start running again. My lungs burn, my feet ache, my ribcage and stomach sting. Just about every part of my body is in pain, even the parts that weren't injured. All I am running off of right now is the adrenaline. I'm sure Yuri is too, and being drugged probably doesn't help her. The sound of a car starting behind us almost sends me into a sudden speed boost. God damn it, they're actually gonna chase us! Yuri, I want you to run ahead and hide behind a bush so they can't see you. What about you? Listen, they're gonna pursue us no matter what. The least I can do right now is slow them down as much as I can. Yuri and I both stop, and before she starts to run ahead, she looks at me with terrified eyes. You can do this, trust me, I can handle myself. I won't believe you if you weren't so hurt. Fair point, get going. I place one of my hands on Yuri's back and shove her forward. She involuntarily starts running, leaving me behind. Turning around to face the approaching vehicle, I ready my handguns. Keeping my aim focused on the road, I move next to a bush that can, at first, conceal my immediate position. That's right. Come right to me. Headlight beam just over the hill we are on, as the car starts to speed down towards me. I fire 3 rounds into the general area of the rear passenger tire, hoping it can hit my mark through my pain. A loud pow bursts through the air as the vehicle swerves out of control. Due to its high velocity, the tire being blown out suddenly throws the car into an uncontrollable bat-out-of-hell journey into a nearby tree. The driver flies out and towards the windshield, slamming into the tree and instantly killing him. The passengers are thrown out about too. They're not all dead, but for now they're incapacitated. Incapacitated. This is perfect. Yuri and I have more time to run. Looking behind me, I see Yuri peering up over a bush. Damn, she makes some considerate distance in that short time. Now I guess it's my turn to catch up. Shuffling down the dirt road, my body starts to sting all over again. Since the adrenaline's wearing off, I'm going to be having a very hard time very soon. The mere fact I was even that mobile during that little altercation amazes me. But I can't stop now. I can't afford to. When I finally reach Yuri, my knees strain to keep me upright, and my stomach feels warm again. Jesus. I reach down and press my hand against my stomach and then look down at it. More and more blood keeps seeping through the bandages. I swallow whatever saliva is left in my mouth and silently try to keep the blood on my hand a secret from Yuri. I can't have her freak out more than she already is, and this would just send her over the edge. So I guess I'm feigning my health right now. Everything alright? Oh yeah, everything's fine. Alright. Come on, let's keep going. This probably won't be the only car they send after us. You really think they will send more after us? Oh yeah, this just showed us how badly they want to prevent our escape. Yuri and I keep going, keeping a moderate pace the entire way. Eventually, we reach the outskirts of the town and start going down some alleyways and roads, desperately looking for help. Each step is getting harder and harder to take. My mouth is beginning to dry up. I feel like I'm gonna vomit. I think I might be a little chilly out here. Ugh, how is it this hard to find somebody? Out of frustration, she rubs her forehead with her hands and almost stumbles. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I reach out and grab her arms and torso. Now isn't the time to be getting dizzy. Sorry, I just can't see straight right now. Her words begin to slur again. God damn it. Don't worry, Yuri. Once we get help, we will find out what they drugged you with. You'll be back to good health in no time. Towards the end of that sentence, I feel my stomach churn and I gag. Diverse! I'm fine! The heaves from my gabs cramp my stomach and my wound. Ow, fuck! Taking sharp inhales, I manage to keep myself from shouting out. Do you think you can manage to walk a little more? Yeah, of course. Good. When I let go of her arm, she looks down and notices the blood that covers my hand. Don't worry about it. Let's just keep going. The sooner we find help, the better. Looking around, I notice an alleyway that I've seen several times before my commute with Julia. There. Let's go down that alleyway. I think there's a convenience store over there. Okay. Yuri starts to head down the alleyway and I shamble behind her. Luck smiles onto Yuri and me. The store is there and it's open. A police car sits out in front of it and the officer is inside talking with the cashier. Oh my god, Diverse, you were right! That police officer inside can call an ambulance. We're saved! Diverse? I can't hold myself up anymore. Diverse? Oh my god, Diverse! Young lady, what happened? Officer, my friend here is really hurt. He needs to go to the hospital. Clarence, can you call 911? I'm gonna try to give emergency care to this boy. Of course. Ma'am, I need you to move out of the way. Give him some air. What are you doing? I'm gonna try to give him CPR. He isn't breathing. Oh god, oh god, oh god! Come on now, kid. Stay with me! Oh my god. Ma'am, what is his name? It's Diverse. Diverse, can you hear my voice? I need you to answer me, bud. Please, for the love of God. The ambulance is on its way. They said they want you to call in. I'm a little busy right now. He has a knife wound in his stomach, and he said something about a broken rib and I think a sprained leg. Jesus Christ, I wish you would have told me that before I started giving him CPR. But I didn't have any other choice. He isn't breathing. Come on, son, just listen to my voice. I need you to wake up and talk. You can do this. He still has a pulse, but it's very weak. His lack of breathing isn't helping either. Look, it's the ambulance, thank God. My God, MC almost died twice. He's in. Thank God. Oh. When I open my eyes, the world starts to slowly phase in. Where am I? You're in the hospital. Oh! How are you here? Julie sits down next to the hospital bed I'm lying on. She has her legs propped up against the railing of the bed, and she's slightly leaned back. She looks comfortable, so she must have been there for a while. I'm your emergency contract. Did you forget? Oh. They got you on the good painkillers. You feel funny? I can't feel my face. Good. Where's Yuri? She's resting in another room. I want to see... I try to sit up, but Julie quickly sits up and forces me back down again. You can't get up! What the hell's wrong with you? What? Julia looks me in the eyes and points directly down. Following her instruction, I notice the flesh and pristine white bandages wrapped around my stomach. You will rip a stitch open. The bandages are there to help secure them and keep your stomach from falling out of your body. What? I was only stabbed by a box cutter. Be that as it may, when you arrived here, your wound was ripped open beyond hell. The fact that you didn't just bleed out and die on your walk to the town is a miracle in itself. I see. Didn't feel too good either, did it? Hell no! You must have hidden it pretty well, too, since Yuri said you made no mention of it until you just dropped on the asphalt parking lot. Yeah, that was my intention. Julia sighs and looks off to the side. It was to keep her from worrying, right? To keep her from panicking is more accurate. This time was, I guess, justified. But you don't have a habit of hiding your pain from others, even if you're hurt and in need of help. I ask for help when it's necessary. And when is necessary? Like earlier when you went into shock and couldn't say shit about what you were going through? Julia raises her voice and aggressively points to the side. And don't get me started on what kind of trouble you were in. You nearly died out there, Diverse. If the ambulance hadn't come when it did, I would be burying you right now. Alright, I get it. I fucked up. I'm sorry. I know Ashley and I trained you to ignore pain and get the job done, but I think we taught you a little too well. Every person has their limit, no matter how rugged, trained, or hardened they are. And it's that best we never push ourselves past that breaking point. She stops herself like she was about to say something she didn't mean to share out loud. What? Don't worry about it. No, tell me. Not many things make you just stop in place like that, so this must be important. Fine. I don't want to lose you, Diverse. You mean a lot to me, and I refuse to fathom you not being around anymore. Julia's words catch me way off guard. Normally, she doesn't really tell me about these kinds of feelings. When she does, I just shrug it off as her being normal. Excuse me. And when she does, I just shrug it off as her being hormonal. But I guess I understand what type of position I put her in. And it definitely deserves to be recognized. With a deep breath, I look at Julia and assure her. I understand where you're coming from. It was wrong of me to endanger myself as much as I did. I wanted you so very badly just to protect Yuri, since I'm the entire reason this all happened. It was unfair for her to be dragged into something that just my presence instigated. And like a fool, I rushed into the situation without regard for my safety. It's kind of your style. You're meant to do whatever it takes to complete your assignments. But that has almost as many cons as it does pros. Regardless, I'm sorry, Julia, for making you worry. Wow, I wasn't expecting you to apologize. It's alright, Diverse. I am proud of you. Even if you nearly cost me someone very dear to me. As conscious as Yuri was, she gave me a brief rundown of what happened, and you did very well. I wonder if she's okay. She wasn't in any life-threatening danger when I lost consciousness, but the drug she was administered is what plagues my mind. So let's talk about what happened. You sure? You can rest for a while. I'm in no rush. You got me a little bit of time off. I can get back and relax for a while. I think it's important to discuss the terms of what almost killed me. Alright, so here's my understanding so far. Because Yuri was she was drugged. I was gonna say unstable, but yeah, that's a better way of putting it. But she wasn't giving me information that seemed to 100%. I want to know if she's okay. What's this all of a sudden? Julia, I want to know if Yuri is okay! Her vitals are stable, but the medical staff are still waiting on her blood labs to come back. As of right now, we are unsure of what exactly she was given. How is she acting? She kept saying she was hearing and seeing things, but there was nothing there. She couldn't keep herself upright a lot of the time, and her speech was heavily slurred and impaired. It seemed to have been affecting her in waves, too. Yeah, that's definitely something that affects the brain. That's too vast of a field to really estimate accurately right now. We're just gonna have to wait until the results come back. When will that be? Not sure, but I made sure to put it on urgent status. Thank you. Now back onto the topic. Can you tell me exactly everything that happened? Sure. Wow. That's a lot. Yeah, tell me about it. Well, you survived it all, just like we trained you. I didn't do it because I was trained to. Eh? I had to not only protect Yuri, but prove a few points to myself. What do you mean? Let's not worry about that right now. Okay. Anyway, their main goal was for you to reveal your affiliation with the company? I assume so, because they know about Oceanside. To be fair, if you can find someone who knows about Oceanside, it isn't really much of a secret. To the general public, of course, it isn't known since it's entirely private. For good reason, too. It was just something that caught me off guard. What information did you give them? Ashley's name. That's pretty much it. Ah, so that actually came in handy for once. I have no idea what they were trying to get from this information. It basically looks like it was a personal attack on you, and not the company or infrastructure in the whole. Perhaps. Julia leans back in her chair and lies her head on the backrest. You should probably head home now. It's late, and you look extremely tired. Never comment on if a girl looks tired, okay? And plus, I'm gonna stay here with you. We have things to discuss tomorrow anyway. Right. Then good night, I guess. Good night, Diverse. Aw, how sweet. Alright. We have hit the 3-hour and 30-minute mark, which means I'm gonna end it right here. So, yep. Okay, we are going to continue this in the future, but now that I have a brand new computer and everything looks to be, functioning much more properly now, I can finally do my streams professionally, and I'm so happy that it's not lagging anymore. And it's never gonna happen soon enough. I'm so happy that I finally got a recording device that actually doesn't lag anymore. It runs smoothly, it does so much, and I'm so happy. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. I guess I did come late then. Oh, don't worry about it, dude. You can always come back to the stream and watch some of it later. And catch up with some of the story. Basically a refresher. If you don't really want to watch at the end. Diverse almost died 2 times. Out of all of the routes I've been through so far, Yuri's is probably the most intense. Because almost the entire time I've been streaming, there was like no break. There was literally a 9 to 5 the entire time. Like no breaks in between scenes. Just intense scenes almost for 2 straight hours. Intense emotional scenes probably straight for 3 hours straight. It was like a 9 to 5 the whole time. How do people write this? Like, there had to be multiple writers, but I know American Eagle is the main guy who did this, but he had to have multiple to help him out with this. Because this is insane work. Like, wow. The writing in this is immaculately good. And yeah. From the one before Diverse had McDonald's Wi-Fi. Yes! I also don't have to worry about that anymore because now I have Ethernet! Yes! Okay. Alright, with that, I'm gonna end the stream here. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And I will see you guys in the next stream. Bye-bye!